welcome to the Harbingers D&D campaign. Woo! We are so excited to be back here with you all today, and yeah, we're excited to have some fun and get back into the story. So I just want to do a quick little welcome to our Instagram live followers here, guys. So if you guys are following us and you have been watching the Harbingers D&D campaign, join tonight. We're live right now on YouTube and Twitch. So please come on, join us, join the story. It's a story where you have the power to interact and change the story as well as the audience. So come join us. We love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Oh, goodness. I couldn't end it. And then I figured out how to end it. It says I can't post it. It must be at least 1 minute long.
Oh, I see. Nice.
Oh,
Very
no.
good.
Just the 1 minute of awkward. Oh, how, stop. Okay.
All right. Come join us.
I tried. View in live archive.
An awkward stare.
I can't post the video. It must be at least. I guess I discard it. I thought it was live.
Oh, I see.
That's so funny.
I can do another one, guys.
Oh,
Do
go
another
for it.
one.
Journey.
We're running it back.
Okay, come on, chat. We gotta do this. We're gonna do this one more time. Okay, guys, starting in a second. All right, guys, this is take 2 on doing an Instagram live. So we are live here for the Harbingers D&D campaign, and we are so psyched and excited. It is starting right now, so get on your laptops, on your phones, on whatever you watch stuff on, and come join the Harbingers D&D campaign. You do not want to miss tonight's session. We're going to be bringing Dane back to life, and don't want to miss that. That's pretty exciting. So remember that the Harbingers D&D campaign is a live campaign that you guys can influence the story. The audience can influence the story. So we are live right now on YouTube and Twitch. Just come to our channel and watch the show. It's awesome. We love you guys, and we hope to see you in the chat. So love you guys. You're amazing. See you online soon. It's starting right now. We're live right now. So so yeah. Bye, guys. Alrighty, there we go. We did it. Come join
Victory.
us. The chat is excited. Alrighty, there we go. Well, with that fun introduction, thank you, chat, for joining. We hope to see more of our friends joining us tonight. So, in that regard, we are going to go straight into our recap of last session, because I don't believe there are any other announcements. We're going to go straight into our recap of last session, done by none other than Sierra herself. And yeah, we'll go
Okay.
from there.
So, last session, session 48, was super fun. Highly recommend going watching it because there's just so many shenanigans that I can't even cover. But we learned how the month system kind of works. Well, the audience did. And we learned that Nuri now knows that her flask was stolen by Amaris. And that led to a bunch of anxiety and a little bit of a freak out. And Amaris was like, it's for your own good, and then ran away. And Thea and Dusty restrained her, and then Douse came out and walked right into it and gave himself up accidentally. And so then he runs away and he hides behind Esmond and Ami, and kind of got a little friendship forming there between him and Esmond. Then Dusty gave Nuri some tea, which made her lose all of her hair. More freak out happened. Lucky set the ship on fire because he also had some tea. Amaris gave the fake flask back, and things got a little bit better in that sense. Then everyone had dinner together, and we learned that Esmond was also a little bit of an alcoholic a year ago. But Nuvian helped him. So maybe he's not a bad guy. It probably still is. Which then we went to town the next day, and Amaris took Ami with 2 platinum into town, and he went on a little shopping trip and had quite a bit of fun. He met Tax, so we get to see Tax again, which was so much fun. And then they went with Douse to the temple where they resurrected Dane, and there was a really cute little moment where Amaris got to see her on the hillside for the second time. And for the second time, they walked towards the light together. But this time, it worked. And that is where we ended, right as the coin started shifting as Dane was waking up.
Alrighty. I've gotta change the music here. Gotta get the mood music, right? Alrighty, adventurers. As we come together here, thank you again, Sierra, for the beautiful recap. As Douse, Amaris, Granny, and Ami gather around the bathtub full of gold coins and Dane, there's this apprehension. But in a moment, that feeling flees as the coins begin to shift. And Dane reaches out an arm, just reaching out, seemingly trying to get herself out of this tub, but it seems kind of difficult with lots of coins piling down around her.
Amaris grabs her hand and helps to pull her out.
Okay. You grab her hand and it's a little cold, but it's got the warmth of life. As you pull her up and the coins fall off her face and you look into the eyes of your sister, Dane Leodon, in the flesh, awake and alert. You notice a few things at first. Actually, roll perception for me. Douse, you can also roll perception.
Sounds good to me.
Perception.
I got an 18.
An 18, alrighty.
14.
14, okay. So, what you can notice with your 14, Amaris, and Douse, you would also notice this, is you notice that she definitely seems not like terribly thin, like not at all, not like anything Ami went through when he was in the coma. But you notice that she definitely seems weak, brittle, almost as if like you almost feel like she could just shatter. But that also is because she's just been in a coma for a month. Douse in particular, you notice that she's got these lines under her eyes of exhaustion, as she is coming up with 3 levels of exhaustion. With the extra 2 levels that she would have gotten being mitigated by the gold coins. She comes up and you help her sit up in the bathtub because she doesn't seem, as you try to kind of pull her out, she kind of lurches a little bit and like stumbles back into the tub, but she's now sitting up and she looks up at you and you're the first face that she sees, Amaris, and her eyes light up. She is so immensely happy right in this moment that you can tell. Her eyes light up, a grin just stretches on her face, a smile so big you didn't know she could smile that wide. And you actually hear her laugh. She laughs and she goes, "Oh, it's so good to see you, Amaris. Oh, it's been so long."
Amaris, like, immediately hugs her and she's like, "I missed you so much." And a few tears leak out.
She reaches up and she hugs you back and she goes, I missed him too. It's been too long.
It has. I need to catch you up on everything that has happened.
I'd love to hear it. And can you get me out of this tub? I'm sitting on a couple coins and they're kind of wedging a bit.
Yeah, Amaris helps pull her out.
As you start to pull her out, she gets one leg out of the tub and then her eyes lock on Douse. And her face goes red. And she's like, "Douse! You've been here? Oh gosh!" And she like tries to get out of the tub and stumbles and like falls on the ground.
Hold on, take your time. No need to rush. You've been asleep for about a month.
Yes, yeah, I have.
So just take your time. No need to rush things. Go at your own pace. Don't worry about it.
Okay. You notice that her face is still very red. As she's just looking at you as you help her up back to her feet. And she's like, can you turn around?
Oh, sure. We can catch up later. I think this is definitely a family reunion time, so he's gonna go over and check up on Ray, who's just next to her. Like, I know Ray got exhausted a second ago. Last time.
So you turn over towards Ray, and Amaris, you notice as she just plucks a coin out from her pants. And she's like tossing it to the floor. She's like, "Didn't know he was gonna be here. Why am I all sweaty? Are you sweaty when you're dead?
What?
Was I dead?"
Amaris like sighs and she's like, "You were dead for a while, and you were in a coma after I tried bringing you back the first time. Something happened back there."
Yeah. Her face kind of like falls and goes a little dark, and she goes, I can actually explain what was going on. At the time, I had no idea what was happening, but honestly, I would not have survived that had you not pushed me through the light.
You don't need to tell me right now. You need to rest up.
Much appreciated. very tired, little flustered, but you notice she like looks over at Douse, and then her ears, like the points, the like small rounded points of her ears, because she is a half elf, kind of turn more red, and she just turns to you and she goes, and she whispers in your ear, she goes, "Get me out of here so I can get my bearings."
And Amara's help her out.
Alrighty. You notice Ami is just like watching the whole thing going on, and he's silent throughout it, but he kind of looks between Douse and Dane, and Ami will remember this, pops at the top of your vision.
Amara's will also gesture for Ami to come with them, because like she's kind of in charge of this kid.
Yeah. Okay. As you like gesture him forward, he comes forward, and as you guys are walking towards the cart and you're helping her a lot, she wasn't in a coma as long as Ami was, so it's not like she needs to relearn how to walk, but she is a little shaky. As you are helping bring her to the cart so she can sit down, kind of a thing. And as you guys are doing so, she's like, "Oh, Ami, it's good to see you." And Ami's like, "Yeah, you too." Right? Because he's kind of like, I mean, I like know you're related. And he's like, but it's not like I like know you. And like, so Ami's like a little taco, you know. Oh no. Are people frozen? I see. It looks like Greg, and Sierra, and Dane are frozen on my screen.
Oh no.
Do you need us to rejoin?
I don't think I.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm gonna do this.
At least it's
You gotta
frozen
stop
on
my-
a nice picture of us.
Yeah, it's
that's
frozen
good.
on
It
a
could have
good
been
picture
worse.
of you guys.
We were all having a good time. We were all having a good time.
Oh yeah,
Let
just
me
turn off
reset
your
my-
camera and turn it back on.
Yep, that fixed Greg. I can see it on
Hi
Twitch.
guys. Nice. We were just
Did it
having a
work?
good time. We were just ingesting the good vibes and the definitely not gonna go south
And
vibes.
it looks like Greg is frozen again.
Yep, everybody's frozen.
Dang it. Smashes
no.
table with reckless abandon. Okay.
Just every few seconds, we gotta do a quick blink.
just every few seconds
This
it's
is
just like,
so
hold on guys,
sad.
don't worry. I'm sure there's a more permanent solution, but you know, I'm sure this will
Oh.
also work.
I think it would help if I connected to the Wi-Fi.
That would do it.
That might help.
Just remember, folks, it is not a true Rosemary PG Studio stream without technical difficulties.
These are the rules. I'm very tempted to just unplug my internet cable, so just to make everything worse.
No.
Ugh. Not today. Maybe another time for a bit. Maybe I'll come up with a bit for that, but I don't have a bit yet.
It's still not connecting to Wi-Fi. No internet. Oh no.
Oh no. Click.
How's the...
The bit. I think the most funny part is that Amaris's video is still like totally fine,
Yeah, Megan
which
is...
I think is incredible.
Oh, now it
'Cause
says
usually-
I'm connected.
Oh, okay. Usually when someone disconnects, it's Megan's device, but for some reason hers is extra connected. So
Okay, you want to know the funny thing?
Yeah.
Mine cuts out a lot, even though I am literally in the same room as the Wi-Fi router. It is literally just right there.
No, my Wi-Fi
Yes.
router is right there. It's
to make it
Right
extra
there.
complicated.
so I
You
feel
gotta
you.
be, you know, plugged in manually with the cord.
I guess so. Mm. Mm.
Okay, I think it's
You'd
fixed.
expect proximity to work. Hold on.
It's like as soon as one of you guys fixes your camera, you all freeze again.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This is epic. We may have to do a
Right,
leave
just start-
rejoin type thing.
Let's just start weaving back and forth. I'll be able to see it in Twitch.
All right, sorry, audience, as we are experiencing some technical difficulties. I'm gonna ask for just Greg, Sierra, and Dane to step off the call and step back in.
Just,
Right.
majority of the call.
Yeah, just the majority of the call. We've got Megan here to entertain us. Megan, what can you do? Woo! It's a party. Party in the USA.
I left and came back in.
Perfect. Sorry, I gotta show you guys on the stream. Everybody's fine again! Yay!
We did it.
Knock on wood.
Oh yeah.
We could totally go the Bluey route with how we respond to that. Hooray!
Hooray!
Nice.
Alrighty. Okay, well, Douse, you head over to Ray, and she seems to just look utterly exhausted. All of her spells are tapped out. And she is like, I'm fine. Go be with your loved ones. Me and Granny are gonna head back to the cart, and we're gonna head back to the boat.
I assume we're all going back to the cart.
Oh.
You sure you don't need a hand moving back there?
I'll be okay, but thank you.
Okay.
It just takes me a minute to get the wooziness away.
Yeah, I get you. Do you have a cup of water? Like some water?
I
If you need a quick refresher?
would love it. Thank you.
Here you go.
And she takes a swig.
You can hold on to it if you need it.
She passes it back to you and says, I'm all right. But thank you.
Okay. No problem. I'll catch you at the cart then.
Thank
Douse will make his way out.
you. Okay. Alrighty.
He would turn back and again, thank you, and then just kind of sheepishly turn back around and go out.
Okay. Perfect. Oh my goodness. She said loved ones. Loved these. Yep. Loving this. And Seji, also welcome to the chat, and Professor Foghorn, and Lady Noir, Silver Dusk. We love you all. Alrighty. So, someone mentioned in the chat at some point, they asked a question of how did the temple people react. So, as you guys are walking back out of the private room that you were in, with all of Dane's belongings, I'm assuming?
Yeah, Dane's belongings, and we do need to get like the diamonds and gold and all that.
Yeah.
The leftovers.
So we'll say that Ray and Granny are picking up all of the gold. The diamonds were used up in the spell, but the gold was picked up. So you guys make it back to the cart, and before you make it back there, the priest is kind of like, huh? He like does a double take when he sees you guys. He's like, how did you just went into? You brought her back? Explanation?
Just silent.
Amaris just said, in a minute, we need to get her in a place where she can rest.
But this could change the course of everything. We could wake up all the coma patients.
If you could give me a sec, I will come back and give as best an explanation as I can.
All right. You better come back, or I'm finding you.
I'll come back.
Now we have 2 wanted posters.
Hey,
One-
Amaris has a good cause for her wanted poster, okay?
Yeah, hers is a good thing. Alrighty. So you guys make it back to the cart, and you get Dane all kind of like situated inside the cart. She is utterly exhausted. So as soon as she like sits down in the cart, she's like laying back, curls up on her backpack as a pillow, and she just falls straight asleep.
Is Douse or Dusty at the cart?
Douse would be behind you by like maybe a minute.
Okay, she's gonna turn to you and just be like, please keep an eye on her and Ami. I need to go back in there and do some explaining.
Sure thing. Take your time. We'll be out here. I'll get dinner ideas from Ami to see what helped him, what he wanted to eat the most when we got back.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. And she's gonna head back in and give the explanation to the priest.
Alright, so you can go ahead and do that. I won't have you roleplay that because it's just, we all know.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna shift gears and go over to Dusty, who was looking for the mayor of the town, which is technically actually the baron of the town. But, you know, tomato.
I had him as town head in my notes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Town head of the town. Big man in charge.
Alrighty. So you head over to where Araxin and Neroth Glixul live. They are two dragonborn. I don't know if I said what color they were.
Red is what I have in my notes.
Red? Okay, then they're red. I was like, I thought they were red,
Yeah.
but I can't remember.
that is
For
correct.
some reason, I did not write it in here. It's just dragonborn. So I'm writing red now. It's official. They're red. All right, and the house itself is really not that like grand at all. It just looks like this house. It does. It is a little bit like larger in like width, but it is still a one-story house and not like terribly big. But you can head up to the door, and there are two guards posted out on either side.
Dusty will say to them, I'm here to see the head of the town, he says. Sort of with like a kirk in his head, not sure the appropriate title for him.
Baron Glixul, one of the
yes.
guards.
Yes, Baron Glixwood.
But okay.
I have some important information for him regarding the town's safety.
Well, we'll go and we'll check and see if he's awaiting, like, if he's okay with visitors, you know.
Yes, please do.
The other guard kind of like hits him, and he's like, "Get your act together." And she's like, "I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do." So the one guard steps inside. You actually notice that before he steps inside, he knocks 3 times, and then steps inside, and shuts the door behind him. After about a minute, the guard comes back out again, and he resumes his post, and he says, "You can head inside."
Dusty nods as he proceeds forward.
Right. You head on inside, and you actually, when you head inside, you come into this very nice, like, family living room style. There's like a nice couch, nice soft chairs. There's an open archway that leads into like a cooking area. And it looks like there's a hallway to your left that has a couple doors, presumably to like some other rooms. And on the couch, you actually notice a female red dragonborn sleeping. And you see Araxin, the male dragonborn, come around, and he's holding a sleeping baby. And he turns and he looks at you, and he just holds up a finger like, just one moment, kind of a thing. And he steps off into the hallway, steps into one of the rooms, and after a few minutes, he comes right back out, and he's like, let's head out, shall we? And he opens up the door, and you guys step out back outside. And once you guys are outside and the door is closed, Araxin turns to you. Thyvigon, never wake a sleeping dragon. Yeah.
There's some rules.
He goes, he turns to you and he goes, you were needing something. I would ask if you could keep this brief, as I am in charge of watching. Sorry, I had it written right there. I'm in charge of watching Solseth right now, so.
Brief. Right.
You
I'll try to
are
summarize.
Dusty, correct?
Yes, Dusty.
You helped with the False Hydra.
I did. And we have sort of another danger, but this one is not quite so easily slain. So I have good reason to believe that there is a wave of destructive entity heading towards the west side of the continent from the east side. I do not see it have any sign of stopping. I apologize for the abruptness, but the power and speed at which it's moving causes much danger, not just for here, but for pretty much everywhere.
What kind of danger are we thinking?
Towns being leveled.
Oh.
That sort of danger.
Are you talking about Ironwick? I've heard rumors of something dastardly happening there, but to be
Correct.
honest, I had thought of them only rumors.
Ironwick was one of the first places to fall. We have pretty good intel that this almost growth, we're not exactly sure where it came from, but it's spreading, and it seems to be taking any landmass by storm. It's even appeared inside of the Feywild. It's not just here, in the material plane.
Oh my.
The only thing I would know to do is head westward. But it seems that it grows more quickly in the presence of negative emotion. I'm not exactly sure why. We haven't done enough research quite yet. But it grows with stress and with anxiety and also with frustration and anger. In close proximity to it. We know for sure. However, long range, I'm not 100% sure. I would assume not. It seems to interact mostly with things close by.
Okay, Well, that is a lot to consume. Would you be willing to speak with me and the chief of military operations here? Or
Of course.
captain of the guard, effectively. Is this of immediate priority right now, or can it wait a few hours?
It should be able to wait a little bit. The desert between this town and the previous section may give us some amount of time. It doesn't seem to travel at incredible speeds, but movement would... I don't know how fast it travels, if I'm being honest with you. I saw what seemed to be a normal town without any of this growth become enveloped, almost in a moment. It seemed to be spreading underground first, and then erupted outwards and revealed itself. Perhaps it had quite some time to grow before it erupted.
Okay. Do you have other witnesses of this? People who can
Yes.
testify to it?
Several of them. My party, for the most part, we are some of the main survivors of this incident, but...
I will arrange for a meeting in the morning. Can you come to my home tomorrow morning?
Of course.
And we'll head to the council hall from there. I wish to discuss this more.
I will bring the rest of my party at that time. That way we will have clearer opinions.
That would be absolutely perfect.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Araxa.
Yes, thank you for informing me. I do wish to hear more about this on the morrow.
Tomorrow, then. I'll let you get back to your family.
Much appreciated.
Dusty, he kind of like just gives a curt nod with a hidden smile beneath his wrappings, and he'll begin walking away. As he does, he says, "We will meet you tomorrow. Just be careful and mindful."
Says good. And you guys, and you part ways. You head back towards the main center square, where by the time that you arrive there, you see everyone kind of like hopping in the cart. Granny is climbing into the cart, along with Ray Nymph.
Good. Dusty will just wave as he approaches, and he'll say, I've finished talking with the Baron.
Amaris also steps out of the temple at this time.
I let him know about the Wrens, at least on a basic level. He's taking care of his kid, so I didn't want to take too much of his time. He says we're going to be meeting tomorrow morning, and we'll talk more about it then.
All right.
Sounds good. I've just been talking dinner, and we're good on our end. Dane's awake again.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Well, technically, she's asleep.
Yes, that's right. First thing you do when you wake up is go back to bed. How lazy.
That's why you set multiple alarms.
She's not a morning person. Ami
Nice.
also, when you were having the conversation with him, was very adamant on fruit tarts for dinner. But you managed to convince him no. And then he was very insistent on cheesy noodles.
Okay. Douse will stop by a few stores on the way back to get some cheesy noodles.
Okay.
And one two sweet tarts.
2 fruit tarts?
Mm.
Okay, perfect. Alright, I'll say for the...
Didn't they buy some last session?
Yeah, he's got a pouch full of them.
Never mind then. Never mind. He doesn't buy the sweet tart.
You bought him 5 fruit tarts.
I forgot about that. I remembered we had some, but I didn't remember. I forgot we bought a whole bag.
Yeah. He's like, I want to eat fruit tarts for dinner. And you're like, no, but I'll buy you some. Yeah, he's got a sling and some ammunition, as well as 10 fruit tarts and a bouquet of flowers.
Just cute stuff.
Yeah.
I imagine
if
he's
they
holding some of it.
Yeah, he's holding like pretty much all of it. He's got just like a sack that's got the fruit tarts in them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if they go bad and get stale, you can use that as ammunition as well.
Yes. Yes. Extra ammo.
They're not gonna last till then.
No. They'll be gone by tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dusty will make a comment about the stuff. He'll just kind of be like, huh. Seems like it was a fruitful venture.
Yes.
Okay.
We achieved everything we needed to, so I think we're good to head back.
Okay. Let's make sure to stop by the Tough Hammers before we leave. I know we don't have everybody, but
Oh,
might as well
yeah.
say hi.
They wanted to see you as well. I figured we
Oh.
could either stop by later tonight after we get back and grab Nuri or someone.
Okay. Yeah.
Do they want us there for dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah. They wanted us there for dinner. As Douse asks
okay.
the giant being in the sky.
Like,
Do they want us
hey.
there for dinner?
Hey, you. Up there.
Is the earth thin up there?
Yeah, what she said. Dusty, what? Who are you
Who are you
talking
looking
to?
at?
Okay, but for the time being, you guys head back to the boat. You guys are able to make it back on the boat with your horses and your carriage. And Dane actually like slept the whole carriage ride over. And as you guys like are on the boat and people are like leaving the carriage, pulling supplies off, Dane begins to wake up again. And she's like kind of rubbing her eyes, you know. She's got like hair in her mouth, her own hair in her mouth, and like just bleary. Oh my gosh. That nap felt worse than a coma.
Well, to be fair, you were sleeping on the floor of her carriage.
Touche.
But we are now in a place with actual beds if you would like to move over to one.
Sorry, can you speak up just a little bit more, Megan?
We are now in a place with actual beds if you would like to shift over to one.
Oh, there's beds. Sorry, I think I just need a bit of a rest, but... And she like, kind of slowly, like, crawls out of the carriage. And as she's, like, kind of peeking out, she's like, is this a boat? Are we on a boat?
Well, I
Yes.
guess you could call it that. Technically, it's the escape plan, but it looks like a boat. Yes.
The escape plan. Who came up with that name?
Oh,
Dusty's dad.
yeah, my dad. He came up with it. A lot happened in the past season. Sorry.
The best season.
It's been a whole thing.
In the past 20, 30 episodes,
Yeah. Alrighty. She's like, yeah, there's a lot to fill me in on.
We'll talk, but it's good to have you back.
It's good to see you all.
Let's get you inside then.
Yeah. I could do with a good cup of cocoa. Exactly. Got the cocoa. So you guys help her out. And she needs a spot on the boat to be her spot on the boat now.
Designated room.
Designated room. All right, let's get Dane out there. Where is she? Dane Leodon now has a spot on the boat. Are any of these rooms not taken? This bed over here?
Douse. That's all I know. Oh, wait, this is Ami and
Nuri's.
Yep.
See, I think the one she's in right now is vacant.
Vacant? Alright, she'll claim this one. It's got a double bed.
Hold on. Do we need one for the tough hammers?
Good question.
There are double beds over down here. And a single bed that looks like a kid-sized bed beneath it. If you invite the tough hammers to live with you.
I mean, we might just end up doing that with the needing to escape this town.
Bring everyone we care about. Leave everyone else behind.
Okay, the Jackwares. Do we care enough about them? Do we leave them? Do we take them?
Yeah, we got to bring Mona. She's a named NPC. We have to bring
Yeah.
Mona.
Then we make our way over to Dragonsdale. We'll pick up the fearsome Fleesome. Or fearsome.
Yeah.
Get Gippy the gnome to
Yeah,
torment
another
Amaris
named
all day
NPC.
long.
Yeah, this is a good plan.
No.
There's no problem.
Better yet, let's get Ralton Everqueer out here. If any of you guys remember him.
Dang. Throwback.
Throwback. I feel like I just threw back to the 90s.
Yep. Pretty fun.
Alrighty.
We can go grab that random Earth Genasi named Claude that we ran into between seasons, basically.
Get Claude on here.
Yeah.
We're just building an orphanage at this point. Or a bed and breakfast. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. So you guys, Dane is a little kind of like delirious as she's just really exhausted, but she'll say wake her before dinner, as she Sedgy Everqueer. That is his last name, Ralton Everqueer, the most famous bard in all of Calimber.
He is. He is.
And he is Everqueer.
To be fair, I mean, everyone we know knows about him. At least everyone in the party. So, I mean, yeah. That's fun.
I know what you are. He is a very famous bard. He also is a very rude bard. Very full of himself. So, Ralton Everqueer. That's his name. Alrighty. What was I? Oh, I think I just got Sedgy's joke, the Everqueer.
Nice.
I think I get what he's saying.
Made it. We made it.
Like, he was like, Everqueer? And I was like, yeah, he's Everqueer. Like, of course. That's his last name. Like, he's an Everqueer.
That is who he is.
It's who
yes,
he is.
Dusty is Dusty. That is his name. He lives in the desert. It's a pun. It always was.
Oh my gosh. Alrighty. So, is there anything you guys would like to do before dinner?
It's a good question. Do we want to, like, hide?
Do we just want to hide? Yeah, everybody hide on the boat.
Everybody hide, yeah.
Quick game of hide and seek. Let's go.
Real quick, roll some stealth checks. No.
Dave wakes up. Where's everybody gone?
Just poo. Nuri's wanted in the town still, right? probably should like.
No, her
do
debt
something.
was paid off.
Okay.
Doesn't mean she's liked by the town, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are definitely like some people who are like she's mid with because yes, she burned down part of the town, but she also helped save the town from the false Hydra. So there's some mixed feelings about her. But Douse paid off her fine, so she is clear with the law.
Okay. This is
Would have
good.
made for a fun story if I had not done that.
As Amaris helps Dane find a room and get her to bed so she can rest, she will just say, I will give you a bit of a warning. And like she says this quiet enough that just Dane can hear it. She's just like, Nuri's been in a bit of a mood lately. So I would just be cautious about that.
Not me. That's ridiculous. Never.
Is she pregnant?
No. No,
Is it just the time of the month?
Esmond works fast.
I'm muting myself for a second.
That's pretty good. That was words. Those were the words that were said. Oh no. Oh, the PG-14 rating. I can see it. I can see it
I'm
happening.
sorry. I can
It's
go into
slippery.
my timeout corner now.
Time out.
you're gonna get a serious timeout
It's okay.
now.
It was off screen. Okay, if it did happen at all, so it's fine.
Yeah,
We're still in the
it's
clear. It's
fine.
still PG-13.
It can be canon.
It's fine. We're in the clear.
It doesn't have to be canon. We don't have to canonize.
Even
No,
Sedgwick
she's-
is just like, geez.
I appreciate that. PG stream, you guys.
PG stream, you
Sorry,
guys.
Reggie. I know.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, the real problem is she's just a dangerously alcoholic, dangerous person with literal ability to conjure fire and burn down towns and forests. So it's
On a
actually
wooden boat.
on a wooden.
She still isn't the one that set that fire, though. So
This is true. Technically, the fire was on the boat was set more by Dusty than by Nuri. By his own.
But she
will.
has left a scorch mark on the floor.
no one has seen it but Esmond.
And let's be
True,
honest, she
true.
started a fire on a much bigger scale.
A person.
No, she
town.
attempted on a person.
Yeah, it was
No.
put out.
He was on fire at least a little bit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It didn't burn.
Just
He was
immediately
burning-
put out.
He was
Oh,
burning
yeah,
long enough for
yeah.
him to get out of screen, and
That's
then
right.
he was put out.
There were
It was
so
a
many
time of
things
a
happening.
D&D
in that
reaction.
moment.
So probably
You know
less
that,
than 6
like, real where it's like, am I the villain or am I the problem? That's like, am I the villain? Is that me?
Seji, if she's an alcoholic and pregnant, that's even worse.
This is actually true. Yeah, that poor baby. Oh, it's fine.
So
I mean,
now
but-
that we've all calmed down from that,
Oh yeah.
Amaris is just like, no. She and Esmond actually just got back together after like 2 years. Like if she's pregnant already, I would be really surprised. But anyway, we ran into some new friends, and well, you remember Valentine, right? I think she was with us.
Yes, Marilla would always call them our babysitters.
Yes. Val gifted Nuri an endless decanter of whiskey flask. And
Ah.
she's become a little addicted to it.
Ah.
We are currently trying to fix that problem, Douse and I.
She
And
used the A word, addiction.
and so Douse and I are trying to fix that. And she's having some withdrawals.
Oh. Ah, so that's why she's moody.
Yes.
Ah. It would have been funnier if she were pregnant, but yeah. But I can understand.
Wait. Funnier? Did she just say it would have been funnier?
Yeah.
I feel like I should be insulted.
No.
Nuri in the other room, like, all of a sudden, she's just like, "Is this?
She just
What is this?"
I
She
feel
just-
offended.
she just sits up and she's just like, someone's gossiping about me.
In her defense, technically, with a pregnancy is a happier thing, so therefore humor would be more accepted than going through the recovery process.
Mm-hmm. She's like, okay, jokes aside, let's. I'll do my best to help out. If she's ever drunk, I can always cast Lesser Restoration.
You take care of yourself first. You need to recover after that coma.
Much appreciated. We do need to exchange tales as well. I've had
Yes.
quite the journey trying to get back to you.
And we've had quite the journey trying to get you back as well.
Well, I look forward to hearing it. After a nap, of course.
Of course.
Alrighty. With that, she goes to bed, saying to wake her before dinner, which will... Let's just say she'll get a long rest in between, so it'll be about 8 hours. Because it's the morning, so... Or midday, I guess, but you'll eat late. I don't know. She'll get a long rest in between, but if you guys leave her alone.
Douse would head over to the Top Hammers early to help start preparing the dinner, since he has those cheesy noodles, so he wants to make sure that they're on the same page.
Yes. And Girth would be more than happy to have that as an option, because Tax also loves the cheesy noodles very much.
Perfect.
Alrighty. And you can also like make bread with her, just like getting the whole meal situated. She's been she tells you that she's been marinating this roast for a while, and so she's very excited to bring it out and cook it, whip it up. And you know, Drav is very excited for it, her husband.
Douse wipes his lip with something that may be drool, may just be his constantly moist skin. You don't know.
I just want to see one of those like L'Oreal commercials, but it's Douse, and it's L'Oreal, like the nice skin, the nice hair, he's got literal dewy skin.
Yeah, it never dries out. It's nice.
Exactly. Cooking in D&D, yes. It's very fun. Actually, there is a system for cooking in an expansion guide that isn't official, technically. It's a third-party book. It's called Heliana's Guide to Monster Hunting, and it's got a whole cooking thing in it. Once I review it more, we might actually incorporate those into the game. So,
If my next character goes into cooking, I may have to buy this.
it's very fun. Talk to me afterwards, Dane, about it, and I'll see if I can get you hooked up.
Will do.
Yeah. Also, the Dungeon Meshi reference, love it. Love Delicious in Dungeon. Kobe's showing his book. Here, we'll put it.
Nice. He has to flex.
We
Gotta
are-
flex it.
Yeah,
That
we're
is
not sponsored.
beautiful.
This is
Hashtag
the
not
thickness of the
spawn.
book. It's a thick book.
It's a big book.
Oh wait,
Nice.
Can you hand me the DMG?
Wow.
I want to
For
show
comparison.
you what it is comparatively.
Nice. The classic comparison.
The little book is the DMG.
Wow. It's just like 3 times the size of that book.
I think
Epic.
it's like 4 times. No,
Content.
3 times. Thank you.
Content.
Ugh, it's so heavy. All right. Sorry. Back to the story. Is everyone else just gonna chill? We can do Nuri and Esmond real quick, as you guys have been together all day, all morning.
On the boat the entire time.
Nuri would have been on the deck, like pacing, for probably a good 20 or 30 minutes. And then, high or low, Megan?
Low.
She would have gone looking for her flask. And started digging around. She would know it's not on the bottom deck in the main area because that's not where Amaris went to go refill it. So she'd start by looking in their rooms.
No, she doesn't know where Amaris did it because
Well, no, but like you
teleported away.
You went poof and like you weren't in that space. So she's sure you weren't in that space. So that's why she's not looking where the horses are, because that's where she first would have looked. But
Deductive reason.
yes. So
But
she
how
looked.
does she know? How does she know that she didn't just teleport behind some boxes?
Well, a fire started and you didn't do anything, so, and then you came down the stairs instead of behind the boxes. And it wasn't invisibility because she knows how to cast invisibility, and that wasn't an invisibility spell. So she would look in the kitchen, and then she'd look in maybe like the storage space that's down here by the kitchen, because like she could have teleported there. And then she would look in the bedrooms. I don't know if it's still in there or not. You're on mute, by the way, Emily, I think.
Sorry. Roll for investigation. Straight up. Are there any rooms you're specifically not going into? I guess at this point, because none of them are there, so all the rooms are technically empty.
She first
False. Dane is sleeping in one.
Well, no,
this
this
was
is
when you guys were
before.
gone.
Never mind.
You were like, so excited, but I
Objection.
know. Objection. Yeah, no, this is when they're all empty. The only one that technically has people in it is Miles's room, and oh wait, no, Miles went out into town.
Did he?
No, Thea did. Wait.
No, I'm pretty sure Thea stayed. And if anyone went out, it might have been Miles because he wanted to look at the showers, but he didn't know about the showers. So
No, okay. I think it was Ray that went out with Granny, and Miles and Thea stayed behind. So they're in the boat. They're currently in the room, and Esmond's in his room. So everyone's in. Those guys are in their rooms.
I rolled a 15. I don't know if they put the flask somewhere different than where it was. Nuri doesn't know where it was. But if it's still there, I don't know if she'd come across it, because she will look in Amaris's room, Douse's room, and then if she doesn't find it in any of those spots, she would last look kind of like hoping against hope wherever Dusty has been sitting around.
Okay.
See if he hit it.
Can I get Douse to roll a sleight of hand at disadvantage?
Why at disadvantage?
Because I don't think under the pillow is a very good spot to hide it. Like, if anyone's searching a room, like, they're pulling the blankets up and the...
That looked upset. What'd you roll?
One of them is a nat 20.
And what's the other
So
one?
sad.
The other one is a 3.
Oh, no.
Plus 2, so 5.
D&D has spoken. The flask has been discovered.
So, Nuri, you're in Douse's room, and you lift the pillow, and there is your flask. But you have a choice at this moment. You know the reasons why they hid it from you. And you know what Esmond has said.
Yeah, but he got help from Nubian, so she's.
Just because he got help from a friend that you don't like.
Friend, in quotation
the
marks.
one that literally was like, kill your wife and son, friend.
Hey,
yeah.
It's not his fault. He trusted someone who wasn't trustworthy.
True.
Yeah.
Like, when Nubian gets brought up at all, she immediately is just like, eh. And so.
Yeah. It's really sad because you're missing out on a whole like aspect of understanding Esmond. Because, like, from his perspective, like, that was his childhood friend. He grew up with Nubian. They've been friends for they've been best friends for longer than you have been married to him.
Yeah, but just because your friend drops off a cliff, should you follow them?
Best
So-
friend.
I'm not
hard
trying to
quotation
justify his
marks.
decisions.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just trying to, like, say that, like, if you have conversations with him about it, like, it opens up another door.
Nah.
Yes, this is like how
best friend.
she knows that he said it was his childhood friend.
Mm-hmm.
She's still very mad about this, especially because he just recently killed her grandfather. So, because Nubian said to do it. So,
Yesterday?
like 2 days ago?
A
2 or 3 days ago, he literally.
Yeah,
yeah.
he still slept in the same bed. Nothing
That's
happened.
water under the
Nothing
bridge.
happened. PG stream. But you did sleep in the same bed as him.
Yes. That doesn't mean she's ready to open the Nubian door. Mm-mm.
That's okay.
That's staying shut. She has no compassion there.
I want Sechi's comments.
So
Okay.
she will take the flask, refill her fake one, and then she's gonna put the fake one where the real one was. And she's gonna put the real one in her bag and do her best to make it look like she was not in any of the rooms.
She's got to roll for that.
Roll for it.
Roll sleight of hand for me.
Let me check if I have inspiration. It'd be really funny if I give you. I'm not gonna do it, but that'd be
Sechi
really
has
funny.
inspiration. He can use it.
You could use it.
It could also give you disadvantage if you wanted to. I didn't think
Well-
about that.
Sechi,
It's a six.
when my evil childhood friend tells me what to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will
Sechi.
say, with time, the way that time works, since the audience is always behind, if there is a check made, it makes sense, even if it's successful or like a failure, and we continue role playing after. If you just say, actually, give that with disadvantage, or give that with advantage, we'll go back and we'll do it again.
Yeah.
At least the roll to see if it changes anything. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a good little
Audience,
note.
you
Seji,
can
do not give her
influence.
that advantage.
Don't give her the advantage.
He's using it. He's using it.
Are you giving her advantage,
Advantage or disadvantage?
She
Yeah,
she rolled a 6 for hiding it and making it look like she didn't touch anything.
You're enabling the person who just talked about how much they did not like Nubian.
Disadvantage? You want to make it
Come on,
worse?
Seji.
Rude.
Nat 1.
All right.
Nat 1.
Wait, that's the wrong one. Ignore that. That's the wrong one.
Nat 1 is incoming.
8, slightly better, but can't use it.
Disadvantage.
Very
Six.
nice.
A 6 to
That's
make it look
pretty-
like it's back to normal.
That is pretty sad.
I love that. I love
She like
that.
leaves the pillow off the bed and just.
It's slightly better than your 3 to hide it, though. So.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Douse was planning to hide it under some floorboards once he got back, or once he gets the chance, but I'd forgotten.
That's funny.
Oh
So
my goodness.
once she has her flask, she'd then probably pace on the deck for a little bit more, and before they came back, because she wasn't like on the deck when they came back, because otherwise she would have been like, Ami. So she then goes to Esmond's room, and she'll just like knock knock knock, and then open the door, be like, "No, can I come in?"
You peek in, and it's really dark in his room. But you can kind of like tell with the light coming in from the doorway that he's actually just sitting on the bed reading a book.
In the dark.
In the
Love it.
dark.
How to overcome addiction for dummies.
It's a sign Nuri put the flask back.
Put the flask back. Well, it's completely dark in there. And that makes her a little anxious, so she'll just actually,
And he notices you and he's like, oh, and he closes his book. He's like, I can light a candle. And he goes to light a candle and lights it up and begins using it to light up the sconces in the room.
she'll inspect the shadows and then come in. The shadows.
The shadows do not, dang girl, you live like this. So the shadows, you do not see anything in them. You just know that, like, Esmond has always been more comfortable in the dark as a drow, you know, with sunlight sensitivity and stuff.
Yeah.
He likes chilling in it. He's like, yes, dear?
Dear. Oh. A small smile will come to her lips at that, because I think that's the first time he's said that since 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so she'll come in all the way, and
He's refraining from some pet phrases, as he doesn't think that you guys are at that point yet to be bringing them back.
yeah, she'll go sit on the edge of his bed, and so just have a couple questions. I mean, since we're just waiting anyways.
Of course, anything you want from me, any answer I can give you.
She seems a little anxious again, like she was yesterday. It's been a while since she has taken a drink, actually. So she's a little anxious and fidgety again. She's just like, so,
He gently places a hand on your shoulder and kind of just like strokes the top of your shoulder.
what did Nuvian say before you pushed my grandfather over the edge? I'm just really curious.
And he stops. And his hands go down and he's now twiddling with his thumbs.
No, I mean, like...
No,
I'm just
it's fair.
curious.
It's fair of you to say. He threatened that he was going to blow the ship up. And I did not want to risk you and Ami dying.
Did you know that the king was here before you came on board?
No, I didn't.
No. Ah, okay.
I honestly didn't even know that he was a king. You had a king? But, sorry. Nuvian threatened to blow up the boat and to kill you and Ami. And I just instinctively did just that to stop it. I tried to ask him why, but he hasn't been too keen on questions lately. Ever since I saw you in Dragondale when you called out to me, he was distancing himself from me. And, well, now I've seen his true colors. was my friend, but it seems now he saw me more as a pawn than a friend.
Nuri reaches into her bag and starts to pull out her flask, then puts it back. And says she grabs her notebook. She flips through the pages. And she's like, right afterwards, you said, did you know? So, did he know?
Did you?
But, okay, so right after you pushed him over the edge, she, is flipping through her pages. Wait, when did this happen?
That's why I was like...
Because I think it was
What session was this?
push, scream, grandfather, and then he goes, grandfather. Did you know? Did you know about this?
Yes,
I think that's
he was
when
asking... Yeah, so he explains that he was
okay.
asking Nuvian if he knew because you said grandfather. And
did he?
no.
No. Okay. Okay. Okay.
But did he care?
But did he care? You know, that's a good question. She's gonna ask that. He's like, did he care?
Not to my knowledge.
And she kind of just grumbles a little bit to herself, and we'll have to see if there was another question she wanted to ask. Wait, I had written it down. Have you ever met Azon?
Windrail?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
And what was the situation there? Like, was he close to the Heralder?
This was the first time Nuvian wished to speak with him. So I went in and knocked him unconscious and brought him to a secret location, and Nori's like, oh, you kidnapped him? And we had a discussion, him and Nuvian. And Nuvian asked him to give him the throne. He was like, he said no. And said that he couldn't give the throne because his father was technically still alive. This was a bit ago, a while ago. And he didn't understand what was going on. He was trying to bring him back. So Nuvian then decided he would help him convinced him that he was going to help him bring his father back. And, well, that wasn't Nuvian's actual goal. We let him go. I put him back where he was. And that was the last time I saw him personally. That was a while ago. Couple months. Maybe last season.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Well,
Esmond just casually kidnapping people.
yeah. Okay, well, so Azon's my uncle. You know, the Winter King's my grandfather, the one that you murdered.
I did not know that, Nuri.
I understand. But Azon's just been acting really weird lately. So,
I mean, I don't think he'd want to talk to me. I am the one that kidnapped him for the first meeting.
can you find him through the shadows? Is that super easy to do? Do you just know where people are?
No. I knew where you were because of your ring.
My ring?
The wedding rings we have.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
He's like, I thought you knew. Thea helped me get them. They tell you where the other person is if you speak the intent.
Thea knew.
Yeah, Thea knew, but
I had no idea.
Where's that tea? You just spilled again.
That's crazy. Okay. Oh, 2 years and I could have just found you.
I thought you knew, and I thought you didn't want to. I thought you hated me, and I was just trying to make a better life for our family.
Wow. Okay.
The chat's really funny right now.
Oh. Okay. Is there anything else I should know? You know?
Not that I can think of.
Uh-huh.
Honey?
Two years.
2 years! He's just like trying to give like a smile, and he tries to put his arm around you like it's okay. And like hesitantly, very slowly.
She doesn't seem to be reacting to that.
Okay.
She seems kind of shocked and anxious
He's like,
and more shock.
He's like, I thought I told you. I think that might have been on my to-do list.
For 18 years?
There were a lot of books to read.
We did have a lot of books. It's true. Okay. So you can't find Azon. You haven't kidnapped him recently.
No.
Okay. Nuvian knows, though, that the king is dead. So he could force Nuvian to give it up now. Okay. Okay. You can find me through... What is the word for this ring?
He, Diving on Esmond's bulletin board has a sticky note that just says, tell Nuri about wedding rings. The chat blowing up about this, I love this. There were a lot of books to read.
Nuri just acknowledges that. He's like, there were a lot of books to read. And going, you put books in front of me? She's like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense.
There were a lot of books.
There were a lot of books.
And he holds out his ring that you notice that he still is wearing. And with his other hand, he waves over it. And well, before he waves over it, he's gonna go, this is really cheesy. It's super. It was when we first got married. Just don't judge me. And he waves his hand over it, and he goes, "Love reveals." He's like,
Now the question is that in common or Elvish? Or
it is in
Sylvan?
Elvish.
Elvish, okay.
Seji, Esmond is racked with ADHD. It's canon. Yeah. Can confirm. Except not like hyperactive. It's just like...
Wow. Wow.
There were a lot of books. And
Did you ever check up where I was then over those 2 years, or did you not even try for those 2 years?
no, I did. It just, just incantation. Try it. Try it for yourself. Do you have your rings still? And you just kind of... Do you have it still?
They could find it, if not.
Yeah. I mean, you have it on you. Like, he knows that, because he got pinged.
She's been wearing it this entire time. And so she will wave her hand over her ring finger and say, "Love reveals" in Elvish. Seji, that was amazing.
Hot and mentally ill, checking all the boxes, lol. Yeah, that's Esmond.
So does it work?
Yeah, you feel in your mind's eye that he is, like, exactly, like, where he is, just outside of Dragondale.
Oh, so like says a destination kind of thing?
Yeah, like, it kind of appears in your mind, and you kind of see, like a faint, like, image of, it's like, imagine a sketch, rather than, like, something filled in and shaded or anything. Just a sketch. And it's almost like in your mind you see a sketch of the room you're in. And you only see Esmond. You don't see yourself. You just see Esmond. And it's
cool.
just for a brief moment that fills your mind.
She's kind of just staring at the ring on her hand. It just mumbles again. 2 years.
I mean, technically you've had that ring for longer.
No, for 2 years I could have found you.
Yeah.
For 2 years.
I thought you knew. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know what's the most frustrating, Esmond? Is she's gonna just get up, close her notebooks, and she's kind of just pacing in a circle, and is just...
He's just watching.
The fact that if 2 years ago you had just asked me to go with you or something, I would have gone. I probably would have been helping Nuvian this entire time. I would have gone, no questions asked. Okay. I'm okay. 2 years.
Nuri. He suddenly seems a lot more serious now, as he gets up as well. And he doesn't actually move towards you. He just stands up. And he says, "That's the reason I didn't tell you. I didn't want to mix you up in this. And yes, I know now you are. And I don't have the foresight to see into the future. I don't have that ability. I'm not a seer. I did not want you to get mixed up in this. I wanted a better future for you and for Ami. I wanted that so badly to return home. Do you know what it's like?" And he looks down at his own hands. He goes, "To live in a flesh and skin that isn't your own? For years, we've had this curse. For years, I haven't been able to enjoy the sunlight that I once loved. For years, anyone who looked upon me only saw a sick, disgusting drow. And you were the first person that didn't. You were the first person that saw me for me. And not by what I was. Where I grew up was an oasis. A wonderful, amazing, prosperous place. And I just wanted to go back there and bring that to you and Ami. To let you guys experience the joy that I had there. And I know Nuri, and I've known him for a long time. I didn't know that he would go to this extent of backstabbing me. But I knew he was going to be risking a war for us to return there, for us to be free of the curse. And I didn't want to involve you in a war. I thought if I could go and help Nuvian for a little while and make it so that you and Ami would be away from this, that once it was over, we could go back. You'd see me for who I really was, for the man I used to be, and not the man I became.
Nuri seems like when he first starts talking, she like stops pacing and is studying him. When he gets to the part about how people were just looking at him in this disgusting way, her hand has gone into her bag, and it once again starts to pull out her flask, and then she puts it back. And then as he goes a little further, her fidgeting and anxiety seems to diminish, and she softens. And she's actually going to go over and she's going to take his hand that has his wedding ring. And she's holding it in both of her hands, kind of just studying his hand. And her thumb is going to just rub across the ring, and she's then going to look up into his eyes. You may have been the man you used to be, but I don't love the man you used to be. I love who you became. You wanted to show me an oasis, but you were my oasis. You wanted to walk in the sun, but you made the nighttime the best time, with the stars that we got to go and gaze at. All the adventures we had, exploring things, the towns during the night. You showed me how beautiful the world was, even in the dark. You are not disgusting, Esmond. This man that you've become, this drow that you've become, and she's going to reach up and touch his face. It is you. And that's okay. Because you're the most handsome man I've ever seen, let's face it.
He quirks a small smile at that.
You, as you are now, Esmond. White hair. Beautiful white hair, mind you. Gorgeous skin. And eyes that I could just drown in. You're impossible to stay mad at. It's unfair. She's just gonna drop his hand.
Kobe, she just complimented him several times. What do? I don't know how to respond to that as a man.
He responds with something else.
Sidestep it. Just sidestep it.
Okay, I was like, I don't know.
We sidestep. We get complimented.
He's
Anyway,
like,
this other thing.
he's like, I don't even know what to say. You broke me.
Can I get
This is
inspiration
how it
for free?
feels. We don't know what to do either.
I do call the inspiration call. Is she
I don't think I've
permitted?
ever broken Emily before as a player. I've broken her as a DM to a player, but I've never broken her as a DM. This is a first.
Inspiration. Get inspiration.
I
Let's
broke
go.
her. I can't believe it. This is the first time in how many years?
Let's
All
go.
right. Thank you for this session. We're all gonna go tonight.
That was the highlight. We did it. We did it, y'all.
We can't top
Alright.
it.
See you next merch.
Uh,
Make sure to check out the merch store.
Super married hats. Get them.
Super married hats. Got the tees.
I broke her.
We need to get like a. We now need to make a merch for like a sure. This is I broke the DM or the
I
GM.
broke the
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. If he doesn't say something like after like a minute, I know what she's gonna do next. But continue.
He kind of is. 1 second. Give me 1 second.
She can have her husband come play him.
Grabs Kobe, brings him over,
Broke her. That's great.
gives headset.
That makes me happy.
Well done. Well done. Achievement unlocked.
You know, and
Broke
all the
DM.
flirting I've done as a player, like through being a bard and stuff,
Yes.
she's been thrown a lot of lines, and that is the
Yeah.
first one that's ever broken her from me.
I agree with Seji. He says that or stutter a lot, so this is the accurate response. So
Yeah.
I mean, you could pull the thank you and then shyly walk away.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Thanks.
Yeah, so he's just gonna say, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Just like that.
Sorry, we didn't
Let's
eat
go.
dinner, so Kobe made me rice.
Aww.
good husband. Wait, compliments.
Not
him,
break
see how he
him.
responds. Quick, quick.
Honey, I love you. You're so sweet. I could drown in your eyes.
Thanks.
She said thanks. All right.
Okay, the funny thing, it took Emily 3 different guys telling her how they would respond with all the same thing for her to say the same thing.
All right. Essen just goes, thanks. And then gives a thumbs up.
Nuri's then gonna just nod, and she's experienced this before,
Yeah, because that's totally
especially when they were
a guy thing.
dating. And she goes, "So this is when you're supposed to kiss me?"
I think we need to move on to the next group now.
We can go on now.
No. I'm just joking.
This is why Dane was the one who made the first move and not Douse. It's this kind of interactions.
It's because the DM's broken now. You broke her.
It's actually funny because I mean, Nuri is related to Dane, so
Yeah, that's true. This
This
is just
makes
how
sense.
wait, it's not Tamarod, it's Leodon's romance.
Leodon,
This is
yeah,
how
this
we
is
roll.
just the Leodon family. This is just genetics.
Oh my goodness. So you say that to him. You say, "This is where you're supposed to kiss me." And you see him kind of like, it takes him a second to process. He kind of like blinks real quick, like pretty slowly. And then he's like, said you, sir, we received a compliment. What should we do? Yeah, that's his emotions on the inside, you know. And then he's like, don't mind if I do. And then he goes in,
Cuts black
and he kisses you.
Yay!
Smidge.
Okay,
Wholesome.
Yeah, all the
we
wholesome.
can move on from them because she would definitely return the kiss. So we could just move on.
Getting a little PG-13 in here? No.
PG-13.
Careful, careful. It's
This is
scandalous, guys. This is scandalous.
This is where everyone gets back to the boat.
A super married couple is kissing.
Everyone's walking on the boat as this moment's going
Yeah,
down.
okay, so the boat is, everyone comes in, then Amaris has that moment. Alright. With Dane. Alright, you finish your makeout. Makeout or kiss? There's an important distinction.
It's a makeout.
Okay.
Important distinction.
The
They're
makeup
married,
makeout.
guys.
They had a
It's
makeup
okay.
makeout.
You know, I don't know, 2 days ago he killed my grandpa, but you know what? He is really hot.
Really handsome.
Something
You
about this
didn't-
man's chaps. Just, ooh.
Sierra, I'm sending you a note, as you are not
Okay.
a married person, but I will let you know
Yeah.
something
Yay!
real quick from a married
No.
side of
Yay!
things.
I get it not just for
Made the
me.
black
Yay!
Yay. Okay,
That's not where I thought this conversation was gonna go, honestly.
but you know what?
The rings? Are you kidding me? For 2 years?
That's really unfortunate. That would have been a
Wow.
much easier.
Wow. She would
Instead
not
of, like,
have
where is
lit
she?
that guy on fire. She
Where
literally
is he?
could have known where he was.
The whole time.
Wow.
The Obsidian Knight, y'all.
Yep.
Now the question is, will Douse notice that his bed was not put back to normal?
It was a 6. The check
This-
was a 6.
This is up to the DM to decide if it would be a passive perception thing, because he would not specifically look to see if it was misplaced.
Yeah, so what I would say is, like, with the 6, you at least got the pillow over the flask, you know? And the rest of the room, it looks like the the blankets and sheets are pulled down, and, like, there really wasn't much in the room to begin with, but yeah, I'd say, like, your bed is just unmade.
Ripped bed, put the
'Cause
pillow back, and I'm like,
Douse is a person who would make his bed. He's a disciplined boy. Unlike me, but he is a disciplined boy.
Mm-hmm.
I would consider that in his monk training, like to take proper care of yourself, your house, and whatnot.
Exactly, and, like, it helps you be more productive during the day.
Yeah. So he would notice that, and he would check the flask if that's the case. Because that's the only thing on his bed besides his pillow and blanket.
And the flask is there. It's an identical flask.
wow, hiding it under the pillow really was such a smart idea, Douse. Wow.
It
No one could
was.
Look there.
Must have done such a good job. The one
He-
place she didn't look. Crazy.
If you're busy, he wouldn't approach it now, but he would
She's
ask
busy.
you about it later. Yeah. He'll ask you about it later after dinner and whatnot.
Yeah. All right. So, is there anything else anyone would like to do in between now and dinner?
Nah. I think we're good. Dinner time.
You guys know that the Tough Hammers, that scene was right out of a romance book. Wow.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, The obligatory fade to black.
Yes, yes. We did it. We did it.
Guys, Esmond just dropped all of his feelings.
The feelings,
Mhm.
the emotions.
Men don't have those.
Men don't have feelings. Can
need to hide them.
confirm.
Well,
hi-
Lady Noir,
I mean-
we love a broken boy.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. All
Very
right.
good.
So
Yeah, Dusty doesn't have anything, so.
So Douse is currently gone at the Tough Hammer residence already. As you guys are kind of gathering yourself, for sake of no, actually, everybody's coming. Everybody's coming.
Everybody's here.
Everybody's gonna come to the Tough Hammers. We're gonna keep it on the boat. Actually, no, I'll put it on the picture of Dragondale.
Officially. Everybody's there. Everybody's there. Everybody's there. Awesome.
Yeah, everybody's at the Tough Hammer residence here. Who got Dane? Probably Amaris.
Yeah, most likely Morris.
You like that?
She now has only 2 points of exhaustion. Nuri, one thing that does happen, actually, before we skip to the dinner, Ami does come up to you and pulls out a bouquet of flowers. And he's like, "For you, Mommy."
Oh, she's gonna take the flowers, smell them, like, oh, Ami, they're beautiful. And then she's gonna give him a big hug, kiss on the head, and fix his hair afterwards.
And then you see him like with a little sack as you like kiss him on the head, and he's like, "I'm not done."
Oh?
And then he pulls out a fruit tart.
A fruit tart?
He's like, "For
He
you."
eats it. For me? Oh, she's actually gonna like kneel down now, so she's in front of him, and she's going to take the fruit tart, and she's just like, her eyes are wide and like like it's one of the greatest gifts she could have received. And she's gonna take a bite, and she's like, oh, it's so good. I love fruit tarts. And she's gonna give him a big hug, and she's like, oh, I've missed you so much, Abby.
He's like, "I missed you too." And then he gives one to Esmond too, and Esmond's like, "I remember these." And you remember that you hate watching Esmond eat a fruit tart. Because he doesn't like bite into a fruit tart. Like he gets those big fruit tarts and just like inhales it in one bite. Like he just like no time. He's like a dog, just instant like down, no flavor tasting, at least to you. And he's like, "Yum."
Does he do that again this time?
Yeah.
She's like, you're supposed to chew it.
He's like, it's good. I tasted it.
She just
I like the
rolls
thought
her
that
eyes. She's gonna take a bite.
it was Nuri keeping him from having it, not the fact that he's like his work or anything. It's just Nuri's disgust has been keeping him from them.
She's like, I hate you eating it. Kirby. Yes, he is Kirby. Yes, Sachi. Oh my gosh. Just... Alrighty. Ami is like about to bite into one, but Nuri, you know that like if he eats that, he's not gonna eat dinner.
It's fine. He can eat it. She's like, look at that and watch. She's like, it's fine.
He's fine. Okay, he eats it. He downs it all. You see him pull out another one.
I know we love our fruit tarts, but we have to split that one before dinner, okay? We can't have the whole thing.
You're like, when it comes to fruit tarts. So he will let you hold on to his bag of fruit tarts that now has 7 fruit tarts in it.
Woohoo! Fruit tarts. I love fruit tarts.
But he hands them to you with the knowledge that These are my fruit tarts.
Understood.
There's 7 of them in there. I've counted.
Yeah. I counted. You taught me how to count to 7. Well, higher than that, but I know there's 7.
Okay, there will be 7 when I give it back.
I'm smart.
You are smart. I'm so proud of you.
He's like, thanks. So, you guys all travel to the Tough Hammer residence.
Nuri goes with the hood over her face. She's not,
So does Esmond.
We're not suspicious at all.
No. Also, so does Thea.
And Amaris, too.
And Amaris.
Dusty doesn't put up a hood. He's got one built into his cosmetic design.
I gotta know, how does Ami react to all these hoods around him? Does he join in, or does he question it?
He asks Nuri, he's like, can I get a hood?
Sure. She'll actually pull out her desert poncho that she has.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll give that to him. So it's pretty much like the length of a cloak on him.
Yeah.
And yeah, they'll have like a little hoodie.
All right, perfect. Esmond, hey, once Mom is asleep, you want to eat some together? That would be like the next step of betrayal to Nuri.
Not the fruit tart.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Even worse. No more honey talk. Nothing.
No.
It's over.
The marriage is over.
You
that
ate
was the
tarts
last
without
straw.
me.
Fruit tart. His next pet name he's gonna go up to as well.
No, that's their code word though. That they can't talk now, but we'll call back as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Fruit
Also,
tart.
I love that. Also, Seji, you're perfectly describing their relationship prior to the whole explosion thing. And Ami going in a coma. Yes, they absolutely would steal cookies from Mom's jar together.
Prior to trauma, indeed.
Prior to trauma. So, we'll see what happens. Ami's been, like, working up a lot, like, being a lot more confident with his parents again. Because he, like, technically was, like, asleep for the whole 2 years. He does remember these things, but, like, Nori's trusting Esmond more, and, like, Ami seeing that, and yeah, there's some good stuff there with Ami will remember this. All right, you guys make it to the Tough Hammer residence, all hooded, and except for Dane is not hooded. She's like, it's a nice day out. I need sun. It's been too long. So she's gonna be getting sun. And you notice that she's actually wearing her like cloak or her robe that she used to wear before, because she was just in like regular simple adventuring clothes when you brought her back. But now she's put on her robe, her cleric robes, and is holding onto her quarterstaff. That was one of the key features of her ensemble. Douse or Amaris, do you remember which one of you has Dane's ring?
I believe I gave it back to Amaris.
Okay, so Amaris probably has it then.
Yeah, let me see if I still have it in my inventory.
I know it's not in mine, or at least I didn't see it.
Gets pawned off screen.
Because I think what it was is I may have given it back, be like, "Oh, this is your sister, something important to you," before we decided that Douse and Dane had a thing. So that was the logical process for Douse at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would make sense. Logically, because if we're thinking about it,
Douse
was
would still
She
do
gave it
that,
back
but
to Dane. She
Yeah.
could have done that in the coma.
technically, you got the ring before our memories were wiped of Dane. So it would make sense that either you gave it to Amaris or to Dane herself, because she would have been with us at that time. We just didn't know as players, technically.
Yeah, because all the memories
Well,
were lost. I think
Except
it was.
he definitely had it though, because I remember there was a conversation between him and Amaris where he was like, "Oh, this is your reading," and she's like, "Where'd you get that?"
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm
so
gonna
it's
say
probably
Amaris has it right now.
All right, cannon. We did it.
Take your little needles, put it in your little conspiracy board.
Yeah.
Amaris will give it back to Dane, though.
Okay, so Dane is now wearing her ring again. As you guys head back into, you haven't been able to have like a full-fledged out conversation with Dane yet, as she kind of like just woke up right beforehand and put on her clothes, that are very musty. She definitely needs to get them all washed and cleaned. She needs to get cleaned herself. I mean, the temple themselves tried to keep up hygiene, you know, by giving like sponge baths and stuff like that. So it's not like she's absolutely gross, but you know, you can only be on a sponge bath for so long. So
Roll a D100, and that's how many days it's been since her last bath.
no, it's been like a month, which is not good, but
Yeah, no.
so Dane, will you check your Discord?
Discord's
Yes,
in
I
this
will
world?
check it.
Extra
No way.
secret. It's not even over.
Of
real
course,
convenient.
that's what happens with this group. We get in some fights. Discord.
Discord.
Canon.
Cannon.
There we go. Yeah, sorry. Kobe is
Installing
sending you-
updates.
Oh, Kobe has sent you the cooking rules via Discord.
Oh, was he the one that sent me the message saying, "Hey, is this Dane?"
Probably. He's
Okay.
actually, I should not say his gamer tag. No, I'm not
I
going to.
received that
lie.
earlier.
Put it
but
in roll 20.
I refrained from replying as we were in the middle of something. Or
Put
in
it
the middle
roll
of
20
playing.
chat.
Well, it's in the Rosemary Discord.
Okay.
Okay. So, you guys make it there all together, and Dane seems to be like faring a lot more fine with like walking. It seems to have like just taken a little bit for her to get back used to herself again. So not very long, but she still is like looking very tired, has the dark circles under her eyes, just very exhausted, but still very happy to be here, happy to be up and running. As you guys arrive, the smell of a beautifully cooked roast is just coming straight out of the windows and enveloping you all. It's been a long time since you've had some like fully prepared, really nice meat. At least home style prepared.
I did my best.
No, you did really good. This is a centuries-old recipe in the Tough Hammer family. Back when they used to roast pigs on sticks. On whatever those turnpikes or whatever. You guys arrive there, and as you guys are like walking up, you guys are making lots of noise with like foot traffic, and you see Tax comes to the door, and she goes, "Dusty!" And she goes running up to you.
Dusty waves. He puts his arms out, just prepared for her.
Oh,
As she starts running, he's just like, oh.
you notice
Brace
that
for impact.
you notice that she's actually wearing a new dress, which you know that they used to not have a lot of money to be able to like buy a lot of new stuff. But with the money that you guys gave them, they did manage to get a few new things, and are able to pay for a big meal like this. And it's this cute pink dress with little white unicorns on the fabric. And she goes and she jumps up. Which, I mean, I know they didn't used to put a ton of patterns into stuff. But they're embroidered. Like, this was an expensive dress. So she jumps into your arms and she gives you a big hug and she's like, Dusty!
It's good to see you, Tex.
Good to see you too.
I love the dress. That's new.
Thank you. I wanted Marilla to see it.
Yes. Marilla would really like the dress as well. She's not here with us today, unfortunately. Haven't seen her for a little bit. But she's doing well. We've talked to her a couple times using magic.
So exciting.
It was. It was exciting for us as well. But she's doing good. We hope to see her soon.
Okay.
But I guess we should probably begin heading in. We've also got some new friends with us, and he just kind of gestures and goes through and introduces everyone to Tax.
And she's like, okay, I'm gonna have to ask again.
That's okay. I wouldn't expect you to remember them all. All right.
When you point out Ami too, she's like, she has the sly smile on her face, and she's like, and then you notice Ami gets this weird look on his face. He's like, huh?
What are you looking at me for? He's like, square up then.
Yeah, square up, little girl.
Puffs out his chest.
No, so you set her down and she goes running inside. And there's so many people that you notice that actually on the opposite side of the house, they've set up a bunch of chairs, and a couple tables, so that way everyone can have a seat.
Awesome.
And Tax, Drov, Girth, and Douse now come out and they're putting food on the table. And you notice that Girth comes out with a humongous cooking pot. And she's lifting it totally no harm, no foul, ease. She actually will put it on her hip at one point. She's totally chill. And she goes, Dusty, it's good to see you. Let me put this down and we'll get, and you'll get me a hug. And you'll get me a hug.
Yes, of course.
And she goes and puts it down, and Drov puts some stuff down, and they head on over. And you notice, they're just being really playful with each other, Drov and Girth, as they're heading over to you guys. And then they come up, and Girth comes up and gives you a big hug, big half-orc hug, and she goes, "Oh, Dusty, my boy, it's so good to see you."
It's good to see you all as well. Been a little bit.
It has been. It's been too long.
Yeah.
You should stop by more often. It's good to see you home.
It's good to be here.
And you've got friends. Well, happy to meet you all. Please feast as you like. The sun is setting, so hopefully you won't have to. And she kind of looks and eyes Esmond, and she's like, "So you won't have to wear your cloaks for too much longer."
Dusty just kind of nods, and he sort of lightly introduces people. He would have done the same thing with Tax, but he doesn't give full names. However, he does introduce Miles as his dad. He says, "This is my father," and he will go through and just kind of
Um,
not giving too many details about who these people actually are.
mhm. So before that happens, Thea does pull her hood back when you're like kind of like gesturing over, starting to get over towards them, and they go, "Thea, so good to see you. It's been too long." And she's like, I know, you're so wonderful. Thank you so much for taking care of Dusty." And then you introduce Miles, and you're like, "Yeah, this is my dad." And Miles, you see him kind of like stand a little straighter when you say that. And Girth just goes over and she's like, and she stands in front of Miles with her hands on her hips. And then she turns and looks at you, Dusty, and she goes, "Good dad or bad dad?"
Good dad.
And she goes, "Welcome to the family," and gives him a big hug. And Miles is like, "Oh."
Bones cracking sounds.
Yeah. And then Drov goes and gives him a big handshake, like arm handshake, and he's
Crushes hand.
crushes hand, and Miles
Dislocates
is like,
shoulder. Me over there using cure wounds on my poor father.
yeah. So, at this point, you introduce everyone, and you all gather around the table for one nice huge meal. And it is a amazing meal, chock full of the most delicious roast you've ever had. Homemade bread rolls. There's cheesy pasta, which is the only thing Ami will eat. And he only eats a little bit of it. That and some of the bread. He'll eat some of the bread.
Full of appetite. How'd that happen?
I have no
crazy.
idea.
Douse is like, "Oh." Tax is...
I made this for him.
He's eating it.
I feel a little bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Nuri, you're the mom.
She didn't know he was making special dinner for him.
And Tax is eating lots of the cheesy noodles. She pretty much has the same like plate as hers, but she's a little bit of roast on her plate. But she's also got a much larger portion size than Ami. And they're sitting next to each other also, just chatting.
She's a grown girl. Good for her.
Yeah, she's a growing girl. Gotta get the portions. And Douse, just by chance, it ended up that you're sitting right next to Dane. How did that happen? With Amaris on the other side of her. From a picky eater to another, you gotta expand your horizons on me. Yes.
That would be one of the small topics Douse would have. Is like, here, try some of this. I've been cooking lately, and as you know, whatnot. This is one of the new recipes I've learned, and it's called cheesy noodles.
Oh, I'd love to try some. And she tries it, and she goes, "This is delicious."
Ami suggested the meal, so.
I see. She's like really kind of like she keeps like looking at you, and you notice that she's very red on her cheeks.
He also has no idea how to respond. He's like, ever since he initially forgot about that kiss, he's like kind of put off thinking about it, and he doesn't know how to respond.
Yeah, because I don't think there was ever a resolution that night either. Like she kissed
There wasn't.
you. She kissed you, and then you were like,
So he really has no clue what to do.
Then she left.
She's gone.
Yeah. So she kind of is like really blushy. And then you notice that she just kind of is like, so what's your What's your favorite recipe?
Oh, that's a really good question. I've been working on quite a few of them. I think I enjoy the, I made kebabs recently, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was one of his simple meals he had learned.
I think so.
I made kebabs recently. Those were actually kind of nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. I assume you already know what they are. They were new to me, but
No, I think that's amazing that you're branching out and trying new things. It's a really good thing to do.
definitely. I mean, I asked you a lot more about. It's been like a month, and I want to ask you like everything you've been through with this past month. But I also know you kind of. I don't know if it's easy to talk about, so.
No, it's
Real
it's,
quick.
Yeah.
Hello, Douse.
He's being very sheepish in low, so we'll go low. Not low spirited, but like.
That is low. You are safe for now.
Oh! Guys, this is the flirting episode.
The flirt episode.
Mm-hmm.
Is he catching any glares from Amaris? Is that what's going on?
No, if you look over towards her, you can probably see that she is trying to hold back about mentioning your mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes? Oh,
Yeah, he didn't know how to do them. He just mashed them up on surface, not cooking or anything.
That's right. She's like, oh, that's wonderful. I love that you're reaching out. That's really cool. Oh yeah, sorry, I went backwards too far. You asked about her adventures, and she goes,
He wants to ask about her and like get to know her, but he knows that that's probably not something easy to talk about.
and she goes, actually, I don't mind talking about it. It was a very interesting experience. The beginning and a couple parts were a little less than ideal, but it was kind of an adventure.
Really?
Yes,
So you were conscious for the whole thing then, or that entire
not
month?
for a lot of it. For a bit, I was in a very dark and crowded place. And then I remember being on the hillside with Amaris there. And, well, near the end of it, something caught hold of me and I just felt incredibly cold. And I felt like I lost myself there for a minute. But then, after a moment, and if you guys are like pausing your conversations with other people, you can be listening in on this.
Yeah, I see Nuri's got her book out.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think Nuri's like eating. She's talking to Esmond. She's like, yeah, it is good to be back. It's good to be here. And then she's like, hold on. Listen. Pulls out.
Mommy, I want you to try the. Quiet on me.
Mommy.
Mommy's
Just for
taking
a little bit.
notes.
Mommy's taking notes.
So Nuri and Esmond, they're like, Nuri might have been like, oh, did you see how Tax was looking at him earlier? And then, they're, talking, giggling, whatever, and then starts hearing the conversation about the hillside, and she's just like, puts a hand on his mouth, then puts it down, and she just pulls out her notebook kind of on her lap, and she just has it in her lap as she's writing, and the other hand she's eating, pretending like she's not listening.
Dusty's not pretending. His like focus is because his plate has food on it, but he hasn't touched it. Instead, he's just kind of like staring straight off into space. And then, as you guys start talking, his head like turns towards them and just super awkwardly is just like staring directly towards you guys as you're talking at this point.
Shut up, Mommy. There's romance happening. And I love that. And I'm assuming Amaris is also listening in.
A little bit, yes.
Okay, good. She continues and says, something grabbed hold of me, and I felt myself slipping away. And then all of a sudden things were bright. And it felt like this pain as like a leech was being ripped off me. And I suddenly found myself in some ethereal plane of existence. And there was a wraith before me. I assumed that Amaris pushed me through the light, and that's the only thing that got me away from that wraith.
I'm so glad you were safe.
Me too. It was a little frightening there.
Okay.
But, you know,
This is gonna be Douse's high or low.
higher low to me.
Yes.
Ooh, let's go high. Let's balance out the Lord.
That's a 4.
That's a 4.
So he does not reach forward and grab her hand.
Oh no! Come
Wait, I want to use my inspiration. Roll that dice again.
Oh! Nuri!
18!
Nice.
18!
That is a high and a high.
Nuri ships. Sierra ships.
Yeah, I was like, does he do it to comfort? Is he willing to take that step? I don't know. But if I'm
Now
using
he
Nuri's
is.
inspiration, then yes.
You are.
Okay. That was an 18 with the inspiration.
Douse just grabbed her hand.
Just like a light kind of over the hand, like just
Yeah, like her
Ti-
hand's on the
tiny
table,
squeeze.
and you just kind of like drape yours over, a little squeeze.
he doesn't know what to do from there, but he just gives it a
And-
small squeeze.
You notice that the tips of her ears just go bright red, and she's like, oh, and
Oh.
no, it's
So-
fine.
sorry,
No,
sorry.
it's fine. I just didn't think you. Never mind. I'll just continue with my story.
Attempts to comfort fails. Retreat.
Well, you think it failed. And she's like, so you take your hand away?
If it seems like it's causing her discomfort, he would take it away.
And
Or it was like,
you
oh.
start to pull it away, and she's like, "Oh no, I mean it was fine. You can if you don't
No.
want to, but you,
Okay.
you don't have to if you don't."
This is very much Douse's first love, so he doesn't know what to do.
So you put your hand back, and she's like, like all red. Amaris is just looking at this.
I'm like,
If Dane looks over at Amaris, she could probably just see Amaris just have this look in her eyes, just like, yes.
this is
Amaris
like,
ships.
I'm now realizing how awkward I've made him in relationships. It's just playing out so hilariously.
Girl, you're a Leodon. Grab his hand. She wasn't sure. She's like, because he didn't respond to her kiss. So she's like, I'm confused. Does he like me? Is he comforting me? And so she's
Here
like,
it is.
okay, where was I?
Wraith. A Wraith came. and
Yes, the wraith. It was cold. And I ran. I ran really far from the wraith. And then it stopped chasing me.
I'm glad.
Are you okay? Do you need some water?
Me? I'm fine.
No, she's asking Douse.
Oh, Douse.
Me? I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and she uses her other hand to grab some water. She actually, you notice that she mage hands it and like brings it over and then drinks some and then mage hands it back.
Douse grabs his own cup, thinking that she was gonna hand one to her. Was like, "Oh, I'm getting my own water."
And you're like, I'm drinking now.
Wait, real quick. Like Amaris, has like slowed down her eating so she can listen in, but now she just stops and she's just like, "That was my cup."
Which one?
The cup that.
The one that Dane took.
Yeah.
Which Dane?
No, the character Dane.
Yeah, I know. Leading into the joke.
Well, at this point, the table is like really quiet, but you guys don't notice as you guys are just having this meltdown.
Yeah, Dusty kind of looks away a little bit.
This
He's
might
like-
be where they start to notice.
And she's like, and then she kind of like looks across the table, notices everybody's silent. She goes,
Yeah. Douse
and-
would follow her gaze and be like, move his hand away slowly.
and she pulls her hand back to her other hand, and she just kind of, she like holds her hands in like a prayer motion now, and she's like,
I'm a nun.
I'm a nun.
So Nuri's actually going to put down her quill, and she will actually lean into the table a bit. So she's like, "So to just get this clear," and she like looks at both of them, and then is like,
Yes,
just
we
to be clear-
worship the same God.
No, keep holding hands. It's fine.
This is like, they saw that. Crap.
Slap gets a bug.
Sorry.
So-
And that was Douse getting slapped. No.
Just stop
No, I
it.
missed, I
The
missed.
scandal. So the
By way, of course. No.
wait, no.
Yeah, Way's like,
Was before or
"Hmm."
after Amaris pulled you through the light?
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Was the wraith before or after Amaris pulled you through the light on the hillside?
It was a mixture of both. I felt like it was grabbing me as I was on the hillside, and it was pulling at my soul. And then the next moment, I was blinded by light, and it was ripped from me, that darkness. And suddenly I found myself in this plane where I saw the wraith a distance from me, and I ran.
That was after you saw Amaris at the
Yes.
hill. Okay. So that would, the leech thing going away wouldn't have been us taking care of the false Hydra. That would be something completely different.
Mhm. Yes, and at that point I wandered around in this plain full of nothing for a while. I ran across a few other people who seemed to be lost, and we gathered together and kept wandering. And at one point we saw this light off in one direction. It was so bright, and we just thought maybe that would bring us back if we or at least bring us to a location somewhere we could find our way home. When I arrived there, it took a while. Don't get me wrong, it took a long time to arrive there. But when I did, it was the most beautiful tree, bursting with light. Every branch, every root, every leaf was covered in light. And and I went over to the tree, and when I touched it, I found myself on an island, and suddenly the tree was like a regular tree, just huge. But it had these beautiful leaves and fruit that were all just glowing. It was beautiful, and I now noticed that there were other spirits with me, and it was this really confusing island, but it was very small, so it was easy to navigate. I spoke with some of the spirits there, and they told me about a way to get back to the mainland. You're not gonna believe me when I say this, but
Stingrays?
manta rays.
Manta rays? I knew it.
This is lining up really interestingly, actually.
Really?
Dusty adds.
It was
Yeah.
like a spiritual manta ray. Like a
We-
ghost.
Met someone who saw this happen, and it was so scary they stopped talking. They never talked again.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, we passed by a few boats, maybe 1 or 2 boats.
That's interesting. This connects a lot with Heifer, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
The god
That-
of prosperity.
Yes. It's nothing. It's just, I mean, the legend goes that Heifer gave themselves up for the world. If I remember correctly, it has something to do with this tree. Either they transformed into a tree or their power entered. And I mean, those ghost, and he puts his hands up in quotation marks, ghost manta rays that our friend saw was over by the mist, was it not?
Well, I saw the mist off in the distance. But I wasn't quite within it. I was
That's
actually on top of the manta ray when I was whisked away here, back to the hillside.
Just location. Esmond, Dusty calls out.
He you look over at him and he's just got splattered cheese and meat juices on his
Very
face.
much not expecting anyone to talk to him.
Yeah, he's stuffed, cheeks full, and he quickly swallows and grabs a napkin and wipes his face, and he's like, yes.
You don't have to go super into detail, but does that tree sound familiar to you? Have you seen something like it before?
I've heard stories of a tree that had spirits by it. The ethereal tree. None that I can think of back in my homeland, but we were always told stories of a tree that brought both life and death itself together.
Okay. And he nods. He just kind of almost curtly like he doesn't need any information from him, and he just kind of is setting him aside almost. And now he's just kind of thinking to himself now. He's like,
It's okay. And then everyone was staring at them, and he's he kind of leans behind Nuri, please stop looking at me. I am introvert.
yes.
Introvert, no attention.
Yeah, exactly. He's nope. He is ADHD introvert.
Dusty, he just kind of I really wish that would have connected nicer, but oh well.
Definitely. That is a really interesting story, though, with how much it lines up. It's not necessarily our story to share, I believe, with the our side of it, the island that we had heard about, but it definitely does line up with some other things that we've heard. I'd be interested to learn where that mantle was heading off to if we ever find the chance.
Where did it end up taking you?
Well, it was taking me to the mainland, but I was still on it when I was whisked away here.
So, mainland? Do you mean this continent that we're on, or are you
This
talking about
continent.
specifically?
And the other people were with you.
Yes, other spirits. Trying to find their way back home.
That is very, very interesting.
Was there anyone with you? Oh, sorry.
Yes, other spirits.
Like anyone that you remember
Yeah, you
by name?
recognize any of them.
There was someone by the name of Petra.
Petra.
She was an Earth Genasi.
Hmm. We can definitely inquire to see if they made it back. We're planning to stop by Guy.
Wait, was Petra? Wait, Petra's not the one we met on the road that told us
No,
about
it's
the
No,
hammer.
that's Claude.
Okay, keep going then.
If my understanding serves me correctly, and Nuri, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way that these comas have been functioning has been that we have a spirit separated from their body, that's death, but the coma is when the spirit is sealed at a different location, away from the body. Usually a spirit generally hangs out around its body, and that's why resurrection magic can even work, is because the spirit goes back into the body. But when it is pulled away and kept separate, resurrection magic doesn't work. I was under the preconception that in order to get the spirits back, we had to cast some form of a spell, but if the goddess Heifer is able to move the spirits, I mean, it makes sense. She is a god.
Heifer is a god male.
Oh, yes. I keep switching back and forth for some reason.
Because
In my head.
Junipass is a goddess.
Junipass is a goddess, yeah. Okay. Dusty would not make that error.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't.
That's my error. But either way, I don't know. In my mind, I guess it makes it a little bit easier. Again, if I could just talk to him. Just talk to him. He shakes his head again. He's just like, whatever.
Try casting sending to a god.
Religion check.
You could
The
also.
god you're trying to contact is not available at this time.
You know, you
Please
have
leave him.
someone with connections to the gods with you in your party.
Nope. No deals. No deals. Dusty makes no deals here. Anyway, that's my theory. It's my running theory.
That's a good idea. I think after we resolve the rifts, we could look into this, and if possible, maybe we could somehow manage to do a mass awakening, as it were, through the tree or something.
That would definitely be amazing. We'd have to find it. I remember. I think I could be able to go there again, but it's a little rough. I wasn't sure really what direction I was going on the ocean.
Right. Dane. Oh, you don't know. So, this is like low on the table of to-do things. There's something else happening right now. She kind of like looks to the kids. And it's much more pressing.
We can talk about that stuff after dinner. Let's.
Long story short, we're gonna go find some Harbingers. They're cool. They're unicorns.
Tax pipes up and she's like, unicorns?
I know! We found out we know where one is. We're gonna go.
You have to take me. I gotta go.
You know what?
I gotta see the unicorns.
Do you want to come with us? Like, if she points to the entire Tough
wait.
Hammer family and is like, you guys should come with
Girth
us.
is like, excuse me?
Dusty's like looking back and forth between her parents.
Hold up. Nuri. Okay. We would love you guys to come with us, but that's a conversation we need to have a little bit later.
It would work. I mean,
I wanna go. I wanna go see a unicorn.
chaos.
We have to go. I wanna go with them. And Girth is like,
Nuri, what have you done?
Nuri sends her words over to like in front of the mom and dad, like, but they're gonna be on like their lap. There's a light and
so
kind
they
of
can
illuminating
see
so they can see it's there. And the words are gonna spell out that a distraction is coming towards this town. You should leave with us.
And Girth looks at that, and she's like, what the freak is in my lap? Holy mother. And Drav is like, kill it! And he slaps her leg.
And I was like, oh no,
She's like,
that's my spell book, don't worry, that's
And
fine, don't worry.
Jack's like, why are you hitting mommy?
Are mommy and daddy fighting?
Nuri just goes, there was a spider, it's okay. And the words are gonna just go off the lap and come back to mine, and they're going to like wrap around my shoulder so they're very visible to everybody.
Real quick, Nuri, high or low?
Hi. Please tell me you're gonna slap her thinking it's a bug.
Chaos.
Oh no, that's a low. Let's see what
She
happens
slaps
here.
Nuri, thinking Nuri has a bug on her face.
Douse, with all the like crazy confusion and the screaming, you actually see Dane. Her hand like reaches out and grabs your like arm, like just very lightly.
He'll reach out, like, grab the hand and just lower it, and then hold her hand under the table this time.
Very cute. Very
Okay.
cute.
Question for DM.
Yes, I am DM.
This spell to basically have everyone, like, in a sense, like, freeze, or just kind of like, or just like
Time
in a,
stop.
like in a way get charmed in a way that it's like things go silent and
So I'm
everyone's
reading
just
it.
kind of like
The
in
spell's
their place.
compulsion. Yeah, I'll say that you could try that as just sit down, everyone stay. Drav has pulled out his hand axe from his belt because he thinks he's like, I'm gonna kill this bug that was terrorizing my wife.
That's now on
Okay.
Nuri's shoulders.
Nuri,
Decapitation.
This is
Hold still, Nuri.
this is a charming spell.
So if you do
So-
not want to be charmed, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Nuri and Dane cannot be charmed since they are elf and half elf.
Yes.
And Esmond as well.
Esmond and Ami as well.
Yeah, so all the elves are fine.
Also, all the elves are fine. Everyone else needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah,
Okay,
Dusty
I
will
got-
make a wisdom
I don't even
save.
have my
Hold on.
dice.
And
Awesome.
can I ask that the tough hammers have disadvantage since they're freaking out about the words?
Yeah.
I rolled a 12.
Epic.
You have failed.
You are a failure.
I mean, it's not like Douse is freaking out too much at the moment. Well, he is kind of. Just trying to get Nuri to stop.
Dusty, you have saved.
21.
I realized I didn't pull out my dice. All right.
That's kind of important.
Tax. Got a 10.
Fail.
Fails.
Girth. Got a 5.
She fails.
Drav got a 5.
He fails.
Miles got an 18.
He succeeds.
Thea, it can't be charmed.
He is an elf.
What other NPC? Granny, 17.
She succeeds.
Ray.
Ray got a natural 1.
She definitely fails.
She's rooted
She's
in her
like,
seat.
I am not leaving.
She's just like, honestly, she's like chilling back. She's like, this reminds me of home.
So all this chaos is going on about these words, what's going on and all that, and then all of a sudden everyone just hears a high-pitched whistle. And or
Like well-trained dogs,
if you've
you
ever
all
heard-
just sit.
ever heard me? This mostly goes to Sierra, Emily.
I know the
and Greg.
one.
We've all met
I know the
in
one.
person, but like that kind of whistle. It's something more like that.
Like which kind of whistle?
It's like a
I don't
call.
like. I can't do it here, but like
It's a loud
Oh.
calling whistle.
it's
Yeah.
it's very loud.
Yeah.
That
like-
one. Oh, it's hurting my brain. But
Oh,
yes,
sorry.
that one.
So yeah, it's
Sorry.
a high pitched whistle, and then all of those who have failed just go still and just kind of like sit back. As
I imagine Douse is like has Dane's hand halfway down. He's just like stops.
Stops holding hands or just stops moving? Oh.
Stops moving just because of the whistle. Like
And you notice that Dane like takes a second, and then she like looks at Amaris and she's like, "Oh, stop."
Thinking it's
No.
fucking dumb.
like she looks over and she can see that Amaris is visibly stressed out about everything that's going on.
And she actually ends up letting go of Douse's hand as they're like on and off, on and off, on and off. And she's gonna like turn to you and she's gonna stand up and just be like, "Morris, it's okay." And as the tough hammers sit down, you notice that Ami actually gets up. Everyone like sits down and he stands up. And then he sits back down. He's like, "Look at me, I can stand up when none of you can."
The child.
And Amaris looks at you, Nuri. And yeah, like she's stressed out. She's actually like upset. And she's like, "Nuri, there was no need for any of that. What were you thinking? I know you want to help them and get them to a safe place, but there was no need to cause this panic."
Hi or low.
Hi.
We needed some drama this episode. It was too nice.
What'd you say?
Everyone, hi.
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 Everyone kind of is like still frozen. As this is happening, as you're saying that, you see Esmond like sneakily is like eating some bread.
No, he's fine. He did nothing wrong. He's good. He's not on Amaris's radar right
he's
now.
like, he's sitting next to your radar, but he's just gonna eat his bread. He's like, "I've been the target like the past several days. I need a break."
Well, I was thinking it was a perfect opportunity to invite them along. My apologies. And she will look directly at the tough hammers. I don't know what the spell, how it affects them mentally right now, but she's like, "My apologies for startling you. Of course, it's a conversation that will wait for later, and Tax, of course. This conversation will happen later, but either way, whether it's now or in a few years when you're older, we will definitely take you to see a unicorn. It'll happen."
There's no response from Tax.
She
yeah,
can't respond.
She can't respond because she's under the compulsion spell.
She's
So I
on
don't know.
compulsion spell.
I don't know if they can even understand, but she's just like, "My apologies." She will pull out her notebook.
Okay.
And she'll take some notes.
Also, I just want to say welcome, Friendly99. We're happy to have you here. Just so you know, this is a D&D stream where the audience actually can affect the story. So, welcome to the drama.
So much drama. Always.
Drama.
All
One
right.
minute.
Amaris,
Heck of a time.
Amaris, like, takes a moment to just, like, take a few deep breaths so that she herself can calm down. And then, like, under her breath, she basically does a command that as soon as this spell drops, like, this will be, like, out of mind. We will bring this up later. Everyone just calm down. Kind of thing.
Calm down.
Did you just say calm down? You did not just tell me to calm down. Just kidding.
Oh no,
Actually-
they're under her influence, so
Yeah.
they've gotta listen.
When you say
gotta
that,
calm
you
down.
actually notice Esmond does like the side eye. He like looks at you like, really? And then keeps eating his bread.
And she like shoots him back a look that's just like, don't test me.
And then he's like, I will shut up and eat my bread now. He's like, I do not want to cross another Leodon woman.
Danger.
You came out fine the last time.
Also, thank you for your follow, Friendly99. We love it.
And with that, Amaris is going to sit back down and drop the spell.
Okay. So you drop the spell, and now everybody is free to move. And it's actually like everyone's still for a moment. Not like frozen, but they're like staying seated. And you notice that Girth turns to Drav and she says, Dio, can we talk for a minute? And he's like, of course. These two are half-orcs, by the way. And they actually head inside the house.
Oh, have we been just eating outside?
Yeah,
I
you
thought
guys
we
been
were
eating
inside.
outside.
Yes, it is. It is
Awkward.
outside.
But don't worry, you guys are, so they live on the edge of town.
Okay.
And so you guys are not, like, by anyone overhearing you. So, you guys are outside, you actually have a view of the sunset over the desert. So, it's a very pretty dinner. So, as they step away, you guys, there's silence as your whole group is here. And then you hear Granny, the old grandma gnome, she just goes, well, we are not wasting this food, so you all better eat up. Finish it. And
Dusty not sure
Agreed.
what to do.
Dusty just opens maw and dumps it all
He's
in.
a public, he can't do it.
That's
Yeah, you
true.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Usually while eating at their house, I will go into the small area where there's the drape, and I'll go behind the drape. But Dusty's just kind of been sitting in front of the food.
All right, there you go. So, after a little bit, Girth and Drav come back out, and they seem to not want to talk about it, about the decision to uproot their livelihood and join you on a quest to fighting monsters and seeing unicorns. They seem to not want to talk about it right now. So, you guys finish the rest of the meal. They start talking with Thea, and chat for a little bit. And then here's for a juicy bit for you guys. Because there's just like normal conversation between you guys all starting up again. And then if any of you would like to overhear and eavesdrop on a conversation, you hear, so, are you two, with a thing? And Thea and Miles, like, there's just this awkward, like, silence for a minute between them. And after a moment, Miles begins to talk, and Thea goes, yes. And he just goes,
It's the Leodons. It's the Leodons.
it's
That
the
is just how
Leodon
this
women.
is.
He's
They
like,
are.
We're go-getters, okay?
They know what they want.
he was like, I was about to say it's complicated, but I guess that works. And Thea goes, it's a lot simpler than what you think it is, Miles. And he's like, I guess so. I mean, he just got contact from his dead wife and child, like, from Dusty, like, just recently, so things have been a little upheaval. So,
Darn it, Dusty. You're ruining your parents' sort of relationship.
I had nothing to do with this. I am an owl. I'm a messenger.
oh. Is there anything you guys would like to do at dinner before we move to the next thing?
Nuri is quiet the rest of the night.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Douse would try to talk about like just small things here and there to keep the conversation going, but
other than that, it's kind of, yeah, it's a little faltering. At the end of dinner, you guys all help clean up. The kids, Ami and Tax, go kind of off playing. At one point, you actually see Ami going, no! And he's running around the house as Tax is like, kiss me, kiss me! And he's like, no!
Okay. As Nuri sees that, she would actually run over and get in between the two kids and like grab Ami to protect themselves. So she would be like, put her hand out to Tax and be like, whoa! Ami is too young for kissing. No. What about a handshake? Does a handshake work? No kissing. No kissing.
Fends off Tax.
ignore that. I accidentally posted one of my spells.
Awesome.
And she's like, fine. And and Ami's like, no, I don't want to be near her.
Nuri will then shake her hand and be like, thank you for respecting boundaries.
And then she's like, do you want to go color? And he's like, fine. And then they go off to go color.
He's too young. He's too young. Okay,
Too young
keep in
for
mind,
this.
elves aren't adults until they're 100 years old.
Young for this.
And you're married with a child at 80.
I know.
Or 60
And I'm not even
something.
100. He's too
Half-
young.
Half-orcs reach adulthood at 15 for
And she's
context.
10.
She's 10. She's actually, yeah, she's pretty close
On
to
her
like,
way.
that's like 18. 15 is like 18 for a
Yeah, like that. She's, he's too young. Too young.
Too young.
I'd say she's more like 15, 16.
in age range, she's probably like 12. As far as
Oh, okay.
half orc to human, it's like
Yeah.
12-ish. Would at like the oldest. Depends on her maturity level. 11 to 12 probably.
Anyways, as you guys continue throughout the evening, it gets to a point where, like, all the adults kind of get to this section where you guys can talk while the kids are off doing their own thing. They're coloring. And Thea and Miles actually decide to go watch the kids while you guys are all having your conversation.
This is fair. Okay. So Dusty, he'll kind of explain a little bit. He says, "Yeah, so about that whole picking you up and bringing you all with us. I talked to the Baron about this. Baron, the Glickstool family. there is a bit of a trouble that will be coming. That's a bit of an understatement. The party and I will be talking with them a little bit more in detail, and they'll sort of come up with some decisions, but there seems to be this great destruction that is coming. It's sort of started in the east, and has been moving westward, and it has already made it a pretty good distance. And so it is entirely possible that this is a very dangerous place to be soon.
Are you talking about the rumors of Ironwick falling?
It has to do with Ironwick, yes.
Is
we
it
believe
true?
that. Yes, we believe that Ironwick was one of the first areas to be destroyed by this great power.
What do you call it?
We've been calling it the Wrens up to this point, but it seems to be more like an actual creature the last we saw it.
It's not a small power either. We're talking, we watched an entire town get leveled type of power.
That's not good.
No, it's not. We'll be talking to the Baron more details tomorrow, but likely you will have to pack up and leave. Either way, so.
You sure it's coming here?
It started over in the east. Sorry, I had to do my quick north, south, east, west.
I can pull up the
and
map.
Yeah,
it seems to be spreading west, and to our knowledge, an entire nation has gone.
Mm-hmm. We also got to keep in mind, and this is Greg out of game. Technically. So if Ironwick fell over here, right? That means, and I drew this diagram last time, but it's also in the Versailles dynasty, particularly Lakemount. That is the town that fell. So it is entirely possible that this entire section. Hold on, let me pull up my. This entire section is completely destroyed. Like, we can't confirm that, but
It is possible, but also Lakemount was an extreme case where it was a city filled with contention, making it grow faster. So
yeah. Dusty will sort of explain that as well, that bit about contention, similar to how he spoke to Araxen. He just kind of explains a little bit about like how it spreads and that sort of thing. We're not 100% sure if it's like how quickly it moves, but we have good intel. And he sort of, like, his eyes sort of waveringly go towards Esmond, sort of subconsciously, as he says, we've got good intel that Ironwood was destroyed in a similar way to the town we saw. But it is entirely possible that it is moving this way, perhaps from the southern direction and the eastern direction, in which case we may have to either head into the desert or the ocean. I'm not 100% sure.
Which,
But
I'm
it's
sure
coming
the
here.
Genassis would be happy to help out, but
I can't confirm that it is coming here right now, but we do know that it spreads. And with these two confirmed locations of their destruction, it is not too far off. It took us a couple days to get here as well.
You notice that Girth kind of like puts her hands on the bridge of her nose, and she seems incredibly like stressed. Drav seems very like worried, but he turns to Girth, and he goes, if we're going to have to leave sooner or later, it might be best to be with family. And if anybody's got a chance of stopping these things, it's gonna be them. Douse, you were gonna say something?
He was gonna say, and even if, say, this city, we end up, like, nothing happens here, we don't mind coming back to bring you back here. It's not per se, permanent leaving the house. It is, I mean, if the city is destroyed, it will be permanent, but, I mean, we're willing to be flexible.
I kind of...
We can come home.
Perhaps. It all depends. We don't have a complete knowledge of how the rents work. They may spread on their own, or they may only react to negativity. We're not 100% sure. We haven't done quite enough testing yet. But either way, to be on the safe side, it may be good to move.
It doesn't have to be tonight that you make these decisions either.
Yeah. We're going to be talking with the mayor tomorrow, like I'd mentioned, and Aaron. And we'll figure things out a little bit more concrete than stone.
Okay. We'll talk about it together, and we'll get you our answer in the morning.
I will, just to sort of put my 2 cents in there, I don't believe it would be wise to bring you all with us. I honestly think you may be safer just moving on your own with the rest of the town. What we're going to be doing is not inherently going to be safe. We have... I mean...
You have a child with you.
Yes, and he kind of looks towards Nuri as well. He says, I'm not honestly sure what we're going to do with him either. I don't know. He's not my child. I can't make the calls. This is for Nuri to decide. But I believe that the journey we're going to be going on is not going to be a safe one. He just kind of like shakes his head. He's like, it's a lot of decisions and a lot to think about. It's difficult to just drop this on you right now, but we'll give you time to think about it. Just figured I'd let you know.
Oh, I'll just pipe in real quick. I was going to stay silent, but since you brought in Ami into this anyways, she kind of looks to Amaris, and then she'll keep talking.
Nods.
From what we saw of the last town being destroyed, it happened instantaneous. Of course, there was a lot more contention there than there is here, but well, okay. I think you should come with us. The town could be destroyed at any moment. You might run into a rend, and you might not be able to get away. While traveling, we will be by air, which so far has been the safest way of travel. We have still come close to getting caught by them. However, we have been able to outrun it. Also, we're gonna go see a Harbinger. And if we find a Harbinger, it's a unicorn, right? I've read a little bit about unicorns, and we've talked to Marilla about unicorns. Unicorns generally have like a grove or something that they protect, right? Like that's their thing. We could leave you with a Harbinger. If anything, that would be the safest place to be.
That we don't know would accept us in the first place.
We don't know, but there's more than one, because it's Harbingers, so...
Esmond's like, I'm not sure that they would be very accepting of, like, humanoids into their grove. from what I know, which is very limited, but from what I know of Harbingers, they generally only allow very important, or at least in their mind, people remaining in their grove is only okay under certain circumstances.
And this could fall under one of them. It could. And if nothing else, we could send you somewhere else. You stay here. It's definitely going to get destroyed somewhat soon.
Okay, real quick. Friendly 999, have a good night. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for joining.
I don't know how long ago you said that, but just wanted to do a little good night to you.
We hope to see you next Friday.
Bye.
Well, with that note that you said, Dane pipes up and she's like, to be honest, I'm a little confused still. I know I've just got back earlier today, but they know about as much of this as I know, I'm assuming, and that's very little about these wrens that are destroying these towns.
Yes, Nuri will pull out her notebook and just, I can tell you all about them. So wrens are these dark, creepy little tentacle things that come out of the ground, like a hole in the ground. You touch it and like, it hurts a lot. I've touched it. And it like makes these black veins crawl up through you, and it's like super necrotic damage. It will destroy any material that's like put on it or hovers over it. We tried it with food, alcohol, a stick. Dissolves it all. Rations, destroys it all. No attacks have seemed to have affected it at all. We've tried magic, we've tried physical, we've tried water. What else did we try? Oh, we tried being nice and friendly and complimentary and tried to be forgiveness around it. That doesn't affect it. But if you argue or have negative stuff, it makes it grow.
Okay,
Oh, and they're also on more planes than just this one, so they're also in the Feywild too.
That's not good.
Questions? I've done a lot of research on it. A lot. I'm proud of myself.
I'm sure, as of right now, I don't have any, but I think we've given them all the sense we have. I think it's up to them to decide. If anything, we should all be getting a good night's rest.
I agree. I apologize. I was pushing for you guys to come with it, but I do hope you understand that this just because we don't want anything bad to happen to you, and I'm a little scared of them as well. I don't know what they can do and the extent that they reach. I think that's same for all of us here in this group. We just want to keep you guys safe, but ultimately it is your decision. We will not force it.
Much appreciated. With that, Drav and Girth will stand up and they say, thank you so much for dining with us. We do hope you'll come by tomorrow. Doesn't matter particularly the time, but when you arrive, we'll have an answer for you.
Sounds good.
Sorry again. My bad.
It's okay. We did not know what that magic that you had was at the time, so...
The words like come up on my shoulder and do a little wave.
He seems a little uncomfortable, but...
Sees the word hi.
Hi, as I wave back and forth.
to be honest, since the false Hydra thing, magic's a little scarce in this area. So.
Right. Sorry. I forgot what city I was in for a little bit.
It's okay.
She's gonna pull up her hood.
And he's like, no, it's fine. We will see you in the morning. Please get a good night's rest.
Well, I'll just go get Ami then. She's gonna walk to the
Nice.
Esmond goes with you. Alrighty. As they head back into the house, Thea and Miles come out, and they've got Ami with them, so you can take Ami from them. You notice that Miles is a little, pink in the cheeks, but you don't know anything else. You haven't seen him, but yeah.
I feel like we got the name of our episode right there.
Pink in the cheeks.
Nice.
And you guys all head back to the boat.
As we head back to the boat, Nuri's gonna again just kind of walk up to Amaris and just sorry, again, sorry. Don't say mad.
Fine. I know you were trying to do the right thing. It just didn't. It just didn't end well.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks. So she's gonna just awkwardly fall back in the stepping group, so they're kind of further back. And she's gonna actually take a drink from her flask.
Esmond, as you go to take a swig, he taps your arm gently and puts the flask down. And he's like, dearest, please, please.
Hi, or low?
Hi.
Oh, it fell. Well, that's high. She will kind of just stare at her flask for a moment and slowly put it away. Then her hands will start fidgeting again. She looks like she's getting anxious.
He grabs your hands in both of his and he just holds them gently.
She doesn't seem too happy about all of this.
Yes, Seji, no more alcohol. As you guys all head back to the boat. Alrighty. Everybody goes to their respective bedrooms. Nuri, are you going to be in your room? Well, now it's kind of become Ami's room.
It's essentially just Ami's room. She will be with Esmond again.
Okay. All right. So you and
this time sober.
Yeah, this time sober. Don't worry. No funny business. We're PG here.
Drunk Nuri was kind of cute, okay?
Yeah.
That's the side where you guys didn't get to see because Esmond wasn't around.
Yeah. Okay, I'm moving people into their rooms real quick. I don't know if Dusty had a room.
Dusty's mostly just been staying out on the deck at nights because he can sleep and watch at the same time. So he kind of has been doing that for the most part.
Question: does Amaris notice that her room's kind of rummaged through?
That is not Amaris' room that you rummaged through.
Right. Well, so I said she was going to do both.
Yes,
I don't know.
She did do both. Technically.
She technically would have searched your room first and then Douse's.
With your 6 sleight of hand, it definitely looks rummaged through, but I don't know if Amaris is generally a clean person or not.
She tries to be.
So I'll say, what's your passive, Amaris?
Definitely higher.
It's proficiency bonus. Passive wisdom perception. 9.
9. I'm gonna say you don't really notice.
Okay, then the question becomes, does Douse notice that his room has been messed with? And if he lays down, does he feel... Or no. Ask, he would feel the fake flask.
Yeah,
Okay.
the flask is...
He put
But when he
together.
So he is suspicious because he does notice that the sheets are messed up, and he makes it a point to make his bed in the mornings.
The fake
but-
flask backfired.
But they
He
don't
is-
know that.
He is refraining after how tense the situation has been the past day. He's not going to bring up something that will cause more contention to arise in the party. So he's holding it back.
Also, Esmond's trying to help her not be an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Good job, Esmond.
Yeah. Look at him trying to be a good husband.
One of the only good things he's done.
He's done good things in the past.
2 years
He
ago.
was really good at destroying buildings, yeah. Like, I don't know, like demolition, that was impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd maybe go into that line of work.
If I were him.
He's like, get paid for it. He'd be a good firefighter. Okay, so everyone kind of like goes into their rooms, and Sierra, you have a gasp.
I just realized Dane doesn't know one of her triplets is dead and literally in my bag.
Yes.
She
When's-
doesn't know.
When's the last time you cast Gentle Repose on that thing?
It lasts for 10 days.
It lasts for 10 days. She died maybe close to 10 days ago.
Yeah, we're getting close to it. You
We're
might
getting
need to
close to
cast
the 10
Gentle
days.
Repose again.
Gets inside the room with Esmond, is like, so... Speaking of,
That'd be
it
so
locks the door. Just don't freak out. Don't freak out. I just need to do this, okay?
They go to this room where he just dumps the
Out of
body on the ground.
I mean, Esmond's
Gentle
like,
repose.
this is not like, I mean, I see dead bodies. I've killed a lot of people.
Oh my goodness.
But here's
Mommy, can I sleep with you tonight?
Why is it
No.
Seji?
Oh
Oh,
my God.
yeah, I forgot.
I'm sorry. I realize there's so much she doesn't know, but like,
Corpses.
Yeah.
Amaris, I feel like is the one that has to tell her that because
Nobody's filled her in. So, before the night is over, Douse, you're kind of all getting settled in your room. Okay? It's dark out. You're finishing up, almost ready for bed.
Water in my bracelet.
Huh?
Water in my bracelet.
Watering your bracelet right now. When there is a soft knock on the door.
Yes, come on in.
The door opens, and it's Dane. Wow.
Hi!
And she's like, hi.
What can I do for you?
She seems to be fiddling with her fingers.
Is there even a chair in this room?
No. It's just a
Here-
bed.
You can come. You'll offer her to sit on the bed and then just kind of kneel down on the floor across from her. It's like, what's up?
And she's like really nervous. You notice that she's actually in a nightgown, as she was also getting ready for bed. Senji with the eyeballs coming in at this moment. She sits down. So she sits down, and you notice that she seems like really like nervous, kind of fiddling with her fingers, and she's like pointedly not making eye contact with you for at least a couple seconds, before she like looks you directly in the eyes. And she's like, what are we?
I don't know. This is the first this has ever happened to me.
Well, I'm just a little confused. And I know it's been a while since I died, went into a coma.
I mean, you did die,
Yes.
and then you kind of came back.
Well, I guess I know that we've been through some experiences. We're both a little different. But I was a little confused with you touching my hand tonight and holding my hand. Because when I kissed you on that night, you didn't do anything or say anything. And I thought you didn't like me.
No, that wasn't... I didn't know how to respond at all. No one has ever done that.
I know I was a little forward. It's kind of how all the women in my family are. But
I've noticed. He just kind of like trails off.
it's just like, is that a bad thing? I mean, I don't
No,
want that to be a bad thing.
no, it's not a bad thing. I
If you
don't mind
like,
seeing.
If you don't
No,
like
I
me,
don't.
just tell me.
That's not the case. I'm just very awkward about this kind of thing. I think you're an amazing person. I would like to see where this goes. I do like you. I just have no idea how to express that.
You do?
Yeah.
She kind of
This-
like brushes her hair behind her ear.
Douse is definitely blushing at this point because he doesn't know how to react to any of this, and he's sharing is not his forte, as we've seen with him trying to keep things back with Wei and whatnot. He's learned a little bit more, but
Yeah.
he's still not fully comfortable with sharing everything.
She's like, I'd like to see where this goes too. And I really like you too, Douse.
Definitely. I do think it would be most important that you get to full health first before we do anything too crazy, but
Of
if you want to
course.
go on a date sometime, we can.
I'd love to.
I'd
You
say I'm
asked
free
me
to...
though, now you gotta plan it.
Oh, crap. I'll handle something. I'll figure something out.
She goes, don't stress too much.
Melody Wolf. Date session!
Date session. Maybe part of
It's
one.
been a while since we've had a dedicated
Date
beach
session,
episode.
date session, take two, date session, take
On a
two.
ship.
Take two on a ship.
And she's like, don't stress yourself out too much. But I would really like that. Just be yourself.
I'll do my best. There's a lot that we need to talk about first.
Like about
Just
what?
what's happened since you've been
Oh, okay.
unconscious
There's
as
not
well.
another girl, is there?
No.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just a little nervous. You're kind of like the first guy I've ever liked. I just, I get a little nervous. And I'm gonna shut up now.
Douse doesn't know how to continue with this either.
And so you're sitting there in
Oh.
silence for like straight a minute. And she's like, so, while we're figuring this out, is like hand touching okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Alright, I will,
Is there anything that, like, you want to okay? Or, like, you know?
I'll let you know in the morning.
She kind of, like, is, like...
Douse will say, I'll let you know in the morning. You'll get up and say, like, I hope you have a good night, and then give her a peck on the lips. And then just kind of bashfully kind of sit back.
You give her a peck on the lips. And she goes red as a beet. And and she's like, I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what you just said. I'm sorry, you said something. What did you say?
What did you say?
We can worry about, I'll figure things out, and I don't know what I said either.
Okay,
But I'll let you get some rest, though, because you do look exhausted.
I am really exhausted. Am I dreaming? Pinch me.
I was gonna use, like, shape water and kind of just, like, do a small little thing that goes, like, just kind of down her face and then back up. Just, like...
And she's like, okay, definitely awake. Okay. 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 Okay.
Alright, have a good night.
Good night, Douse. She shuts the door very gently.
Immediately, like, takes a breath. Turns inward, not one word.
Turns to Way.
Yeah, because he's like, he knows that she probably has some snarky to say.
Way's like, I can't tell you the way to the heart. I can only tell you the way to my heart. Because she's the heart of the sea. Got it.
Yeah. Way's a lot easier than most girls. She just wants you to water her every now and again, and then she's happy.
She's like a plant. She's like
plant vibes.
Plant vibes. And she's like, you do seem to like this girl a lot.
It's a first.
Yeah, the first is always.
He kind of just like says that and like goes and like falls face first into his pillow.
And then you just like feel the flask underneath it.
Oh!
And she's like, not very bright.
I thought these were thicker.
Well, if you need any dating advice, I'm right here. I can tell you how the orca whales mate. And
heard all about that in Animal Stuff. Whatever. Animal husbandry.
Animal
in biology, water biology class.
Nice.
Oh, well, if you need any advice on how to go with the flow,
The courting rituals.
let me know.
That's like all you hear is just because his face is in the pillow.
And she's
Douse,
like,
not a word. Way gives several words.
and she goes, good night, bearer.
Good night.
Wait, where's Megan? I literally had a thing for Megan.
The internet just dropped her. She'll be back in like a second.
Douse is the most purplish he's ever been with flushing.
The purplish because he's blue.
Scandal! My goodness, that was so scandalous.
The title of this episode is The Closest We Get to PG-13.
Or just PG-13? Question mark.
You literally blew her mind. She couldn't even remember what she said. That was great.
Yeah.
That was very cute. That was good.
Yeah, the episode's just we broke the DM.
No, we broke an idea. Megan!
Megan's back. Here we go.
Hi.
All right, so this happens. Amaris, your door just opens, no knock or anything, and Dane is standing there completely red. And she goes in and she goes, "He kissed me."
Amaris was laying in bed, and then she says that, and she like immediately just like sits up, and it's just like, it just stares at her, gets out of bed, leads her to the bed, sits her down, goes over, closes the door, turns around, and says, "Spill the tea."
And she goes, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh!" Because you know girls when they're together. Yeah, and she tells you everything that happened down to every single detail. It tells you exactly what it felt like, you know, just everything.
Details.
Yeah, the details.
Tea.
It was a little wet, and
But it was perfect. Cute little pet.
He slapped me like with like a water hand, I think, to wake me up. I don't know. It was weird.
it wasn't like a
water-
slap.
It
It was
a
like
water drip.
it was more like the cold water to like wake her up kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Is that normal? Do you know anything about water genasi? Is this normal? Am I normal? Is this a normal relationship?
If we have kids, would they be half elf, half genasi, or would they be just one or the other?
Is that half elf? Is that half elf? Is it half elf? Is that how that works? I don't even know.
He tastes like seaweed. Why does he taste like seaweed?
I need a bath. I need to shower right now. I have been just sponge bath for a month. I need to get clean.
Do I smell?
Do I
So I'm guessing while they're having this conversation, Douse is having his conversation with Wei.
Mm-hmm.
If Ray and Granny, like, depending on how thin the walls are on the ship, they could probably hear squealing in the next room.
Oh yeah, they can.
Oh,
They can hear.
Douse
something.
could probably hear it as well.
Yeah, Douse
because his
could
bed
hear
is
it.
right next to the wall. He's like,
Much
no.
sweet.
It's nothing bad on your end. It's just like
It's not, but it's like he's super embarrassed. And he just wants to hide from this moment, and now he's hearing it prolonged.
He puts the pillow over his head, covering his ears.
he's
His
like,
head on the
"Don't."
flask again.
He's going to go submerge himself in water. That's his comfort.
He's gonna leave.
He's like, I don't want to be in there right now.
Dusty's above deck, just hearing all this. He's like, "Oh, it's not screaming, so I think it's fine."
It's just everybody's freaked. And then Nuri, you wake up to like the door being opened, and Ami goes, "Mommy is so loud."
She's gonna just like go grab Abby and she's gonna just pull him into bed with her and Esmond, with him in between both of them.
Mhm.
Pull like the blanket up, and she'll just cover his ears and go to sleep.
Well, it's a lot quieter on this side of the ship too. So like you
She'll
don't-
still do that because he's like, "Oh, it's so loud." She'll just do that. You know, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's not actively trying to block out noise. It's just like,
She's like, sleep.
It's fine. It's fine.
And he
Go
goes
sleep.
to sleep. Let me put that over there.
This is where we find out if Ami's the type of kid who sleeps and then turns perpendicular, kicking the parents off the bed.
Wake up in the morning, Esmond's on the ground.
Oh my goodness.
Wow,
Well,
so wholesome.
with that, we are going to conclude tonight's session of the Harbingers D&D campaign. The episode "Spill the Tea" maybe working title.
Working time.
I like the red in the cheeks that we had earlier or whatever.
Red in the cheeks.
PG-13
Said she
one.
commented with Rosemary PG-13. Oh my goodness. I love
Yep.
Seji's comment. Nobody is gonna sleep tonight. Everybody's got a thing that's keeping them up. But All right, thank you so much, audience, for joining us today for another amazing episode of the Harbingers D&D campaign. We are so excited to continue this story with you next week. On Friday, we start at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time and go to 10 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So if you guys love Harbingers, look for the merch on our website, rosemaryp2studios.com. And if you want certain merch, like a t-shirt that says "I broke my dungeon master" or something, let us know what you guys want as merch, and we can get it for you. We love you guys, and if you have any theories, comment in the comment section on this video. If all of your theories, and if you guys comment some theories, then you guys might just get some inspiration for the next episode. So, with that, we love you guys, and actually, comment below in the YouTube video what your favorite ship is, real or not real, in this campaign.
Yeah.
Comment your favorite ship, and you will get inspiration for the next episode. Or well, you'll get inspiration to alter the story.
Pretty solid stuff. Alrighty.
We love you guys, and we hope to see you next week.